Welcome back to Pax Mithdosica. Who would like to summarize what happened last time?
Well, we L+ratioed a couple of captive takers, and the guy who was in line to become emperor suspiciously died. Tullius not involved at all. Surely. And then there was a couple side arcs of Premius and Grania going to a zoo, and Grania not liking it. What is it? Zednius hung out with Tullius, and Tullius was like, "Yeah, I totally killed that guy."
Yeah, I mean,
that is basically what he said.
And Orvis was hanging out with like the worst undercover agent of all time, and he hired him for some reason.
He did, yeah.
No, he wasn't an undercover agent. That was his problem. So I made him an undercover agent.
And that's your problem now.
Yes.
Correct.
Do you remember what happened at the very end of the session?
There is a monster that we gotta go kill.
A dragon.
No,
A dragon. A golden or bronze? What was it?
Bronze.
Oh.
But,
wait,
I mean,
you can't forget
dragon.
we diffused a hostage situation.
you mentioned that at the start.
Diffuse?
Oh fuck.
Yeah, you diffused it by killing all the people.
Well, we only killed one.
Well, and then you handed them
two.
over to be crucified.
Yeah.
Didn't somebody execute one?
I think
Really,
someone
it was
did.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You just executed one for no good reason.
Alrighty. Well, following your hasty meeting with Cato regarding this beast of Atlia, you have just returned to your villa. His instructions were pretty straightforward. You are to go to Mythos. However, you don't know how long you'll be gone for, or when you'll return to Gnossius. All that you know is that it's time to hunt this beast. So, is there anything that you have previously left in Gnossius that you want to take with you on this trip? Or I guess less so for Zednius, but for the rest of you, you've been living here for 8 months, 7 months, something like that. Is there any, do you want to like have a little farewell ceremony to the home? Is there any sentimentality attached to it?
Let's have a party.
Yeah? A going away
Yeah.
party?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It's trivial enough to begin to prepare for it. While you do need to get to Mythos at some point, you only need to get there quicker than the Master of Judges, and he has a whole department to move. So, you know, you're not in a super huge rush. Maximus, since you're the one that proposed it, what's the vibe at this party going to be like? Is it I mean, it's only going to be the vibe of you.
Let's see. What do we want the vibe to be? I think I'll try and make it as cheery as possible. It's like, hey, we're going back to the homeland and such.
Okay, so do you
Getting
order
off
like
these
Mithdosian
godforsaken
pastries and
plains.
stuff?
Yes.
Okay. Well then, soon enough, the early evening comes and a feast of Mithdosian cuisine is on the table. Such things are very easy to acquire in Gnossius. You even managed to rent out a Mithdosian bard. Unlike the Tabrashan Scalds, which are clearly inferior, you have good old bards in the home country. And he begins to lightly strum on a harp as you all begin to eat dinner. Is there any conversations anyone wants to have during this going away party, or is it generally just eating food, relaxing?
Well, it'd be fun to talk war stories with Maximus, but you know,
Certainly can do that.
You certainly could.
Yeah, I think after finishing some pastries and some snacks, you can go over into a corner and, you know, there's a lot of overlap in your war stories in the sense that, like, either you gave an order and Maximus, like, executed, like, you guys were in the same legion at a very similar time during the Third Boyars Revolt, which was Seventh Legion, which was the last major conflict. So you were involved in all the same battles, it's just your perspective of said battles was very different. And then when it comes to skirmishing actions, you were in completely different things. But yeah, the two of you can share some of the trials and tribulations of the Seventh from a different perspective than you're used to hearing. Corvus, after you finish the meat, the substance of the meal, what do you do? Do you socialize or do you return to your studies?
I'm returning to my studies.
Okay. You go
I'm
back
very,
up to
very
your room
focused
and
on them. I feel like I'm on
Yeah.
the edge of a breakthrough.
Yeah, fair enough. And then Zednius and Grania. What about you guys?
Is this for the party?
Yeah. Is there any conversations you want to have, or do you just kind of eat your food, drink your drink, and then get some sleep?
We should invite people over, no? Is it just going to be us?
You could invite people over, but who are you inviting?
All the nobles.
You don't know any
Me and
senators and
Maximus
Nazis.
Oh,
You know lots in Tarako because you met a bunch.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
know
don't
the
think you know
Tarako
any in
ones,
Nasius.
Yes.
Yeah. And I know Maximus
Okay.
doesn't. His only friends are in the military.
The way I like it.
Yeah. True enough. Well, it's a pretty chill, low-key evening. I think your main companion tonight, Zednius, will be Het Menariel, who continues to speak whenever your hand touches him. He'll be jealous that the other two are sharing war stories, and I think as you begin to ascend towards your room and you pick up Het Menariel by the hilt, you'll hear his voice in your head. Your comrades speak of battle. Why do you not share your triumphs with them?
They were there for all of them, I'm pretty sure.
He grumbles. It is a reasonable response, but it emotionally dissatisfies him. And with that final evening at this villa, you pack your things, which, to be fair, this never was. Yeah?
There was a little bit more I wanted to do.
Oh, sure.
Yes. Once the conversation with Corvus finishes up.
You mean Prometheus?
You mean
Fuck,
Kirby?
yes, sorry. Yes,
Okay.
I do mean that. Yep. I want to go and be a little generous to the poor, downtrodden people of this city.
Okay. Do you want to give through the church or personally?
Personally, and I have quite a specific way of going about it.
All right. Hit me.
I'm just gonna wander around to various bars, mostly the shittier ones, and just fucking pay for a round or two for every patron in it.
Okay. I'm normally in Nasius in particular, this would be quite a dangerous activity, but you're an Imperial judge and you're wearing mithril armor and a variety of reasons, so you'll be safe throughout this. How much do you intend to spend?
However much it takes.
To buy a round of drinks at every bar that you walk into?
Let's say I spend half an hour to 45 minutes in every bar.
How many until a group of guys think that they have a chance to take him out? Because he's walking around with so much money right
That's
now.
true. The answer is it'd need to be a lot of guys, and they'd have to be really fucking drunk. He's an Imperial judge. There's no way that ever ends well.
In mithril armor, yeah.
Yeah, you'd be having to get you'd need enough money to leave the country to be and not get caught by the Imperial bureaucracy. And even then, Imperial judges, you can't be going around killing them. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's probably 15 gold. It's just not that much.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to shitty bars, not expensive ones, and a round costs I don't know, 2 or 3 electrum. So, additionally, I would like you. What's your past perception?
16.
It's pretty good. Let me do something.
Oh fuck! God damn it! There we go.
Unfortunate. Well, as you are finishing up at the last bar, you've gotten yourself a little bit on the drunker side.
It happens.
You feel So you brought 2 coin purses with you because you weren't sure exactly how much it would cost. One of them is filled with gold, the other one not so much. And as you are leaving the last bar to begin to return to your villa, you feel like at first you think they're like pushing you because they're so like it's such a mangled gesture, but then you realize that they were trying to swipe your coin purse, and you kind of glance over and you see a young man, maybe 15, 16, and he's trying to like play it off and like run his hand through his hair and walk away, like he like look away from you, pretend that nothing just happened.
Yeah, nice try, bozo. I'm gonna like grab his shoulder.
Yeah, he spins around and does like a who me expression.
Yeah, you.
I think you should adopt them.
You you know what you were trying to do.
He
Idiot.
looks at you and then looks at he looks behind him and you see like 3 or 4 other young men in a nearby alleyway, but the second like they see him look at them, they kind of shrink away and just like walk away, leaving their friend in your grasp. And he like looks at you and swallows and says, I'm sorry for bumping you.
Oh, no. That's not what you were doing, was it?
Kind of stares at you for a couple moments, and he's just kind of frozen. And then his lower lip starts to tremble, and he says, "Oh God, please don't kill me."
Oh, it's
His hand off, do it!
all right, boy. Were those your friends?
Yeah.
Not very good friends, are they?
Kind of looks down. He's like his whole body's like trembling now.
Where do you live?
He looks at you, very afraid of that question.
Actually,
I'll
why
just
would
look
shit
back at
himself?
him.
The Argyle tenement.
Does it mean something in generalities, Alex?
A tenement refers to a thing it's basically public housing. The Empire doesn't construct them as policy, but local governors can. And as you guys have encountered many, many times, this local governor is incredibly rich. And so at the start of his term as governor a couple of years ago, he built a series of very, very high density public housing.
I see.
They're a bit prone to collapse, though.
Yeah, that sounds about right. The public housing, eh?
He nods.
What's your favorite food?
He kind of scratches his face and says, brash
Well.
and flapjacks, I guess.
Brash and flapjacks.
Yeah?
What's something you wanted to try, but you can't, because, too expensive and all that?
He's slowly realizing that you're not going to cut his hand off. And he just nods and says, honey glazed goose.
Let's go get some of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty late, but what he's talking about is kind of the uppermost end of street food. It is, as it sounds, you roast a duck, a goose, and then you glaze it in honey until there's it's basically a dessert. It's barely even, I mean, it is still savory beneath the honey glaze. Yeah, but it is mostly coagulating honey. And I mean, they're not especially cheap. It's like 2 silvers, which for normal food is pretty fucking expensive, especially because most street food's like a pence or 2.
Yep.
But yeah, you can go over, you can buy him a full goose if you like, for a whole 4 silver, practically bankrupting you.
Let's do it.
Okay, yeah, you hand over, do you have silver on you?
I do, yes, I have 6.
All right, I didn't know if it was time to visit our good friends, the money changers.
Fuck those guys.
You hand over 4 silver, and a moment later, he is holding a full goose. He's a bit uncertain where to start.
I will take one of the legs off.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I'll munch on that.
Yeah, it makes
So
it makes kind of like a sugary cracking noise as you snap off the leg. It's the first time you ever really heard that from meat.
And while we're eating, I'll sit down on the curb.
Yeah, he's just
something.
eating it with his hands. His hands are instantly sticky and meaty and.
Yeah, that seems like kind of the point of these things.
Basically, yeah.
I'll motion for him to sit next to me.
He'll sit down on you. The 2 of you are sitting on a small stone lip. It's near a public park that's empty because of the time of day, and he'll sit down on the stone lip and look over at you.
You got to choose what you did with your life. What would you choose? I'll take a bite of the meat dessert.
He kind of looks down and shrugs. I don't know. My dad makes sales, so maybe that.
Do you want to do that because that's what your dad does, or because that's what you want to do?
I don't know.
Fair enough. You want to be confined to this life for the rest of your existence? Pickpocketing people for pocket change?
No.
No, you don't. I'll, like, look somewhat fiercely at him. Then what do you want?
He just seems kind of stunned. You were relatively lucky in the fact that you were lifted up by the church. You know, you received an education. You are stereotyping him a bit, but he probably doesn't know how to read or write. He's never been inside of a school. He certainly could never attend a symposium. Like, he probably doesn't even know what his options are beyond, like, the Legion or manual labor.
I see. If you could get educated, do you want to?
I don't know. Seems kind of hard.
And this life you have now isn't?
It just shrugs. I guess it is.
Once, someone took me in and saved me from the, well, measly existence I was going to carve out for myself. I think it's time I pay that forward. Enjoy your bird. And I'll just sit there and wait for him to finish consuming it.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a bit. It's clear that about halfway through, his eyes were bigger than his mouth. There, he doesn't like he's full, but he keeps eating because he doesn't know the next time that he'll be able to, splurge on something like this. And soon enough, all that's left are the bones, which he tosses to the pavements, which is basically standard practice in the docks of Nasius.
Yeah, whatever. Understandable. If I wanted to get the kid set up for, like, an education so that he could not be a fucking scoundrel, how would one go about? Is there even a way to do that?
I mean, there is. So the way to do it would be a bit cumbersome, but it would be basically to establish a trust that pays tutors to educate him contingent on the fact that he, like, passes their courses and stuff. But he'd be starting from a baseline of almost 0.
I mean, that's fine. Are people going to not want to teach a 15-year-old how to read and write if I pay them?
I mean, if you pay them a lot, they don't care. Especially if you pay, like, a local symposium professor, because, they're not paid especially well. There are like ways to achieve it. I think the biggest difficulty you may encounter is his, like, maybe not willingness, but ability. But I mean, hey, that's not really your problem.
Yeah.
You'd also probably want to
Shot
pay
it.
for his living expenses to a certain extent.
Yes.
Yeah. So essentially, you would just go to a barrister, explain all this, and then give him a bunch of money. You have enough money where you can start ignoring the logistics of these things.
Yeah, okay. I'll, the kid can come spend the night in the mansion tonight.
Holy jolly moly. He'll ask to return home instead. The idea of going with the judge to their villa while appealing is a bit scary.
If he so chooses.
He
Just,
does.
I'll give him, like, a meeting place to meet me tomorrow so that the barrister knows who he is at the very least.
Yeah, you inform young Marcus, the most common Nasius name, to meet you there.
Cool.
And yeah, you head back to the villa. Everyone else is fast asleep. You get yourself some sleep as well. The following morning, as everyone's packing their bags and stuff, you can go find a barrister for the living expenses for a standard 8-year education. You would need 160 gold. And that includes
Jesus,
everything.
that's it.
That's $160,000, brother. That's his living
Yeah.
expenses, his food, his tutors, potential role in symposium payments if he gets into one. That's like everything. That's an entire imperial education.
God damn. Money's wild when you have a lot of it.
Yeah, yeah, it is. I mean, that is literal like life-changing money for anyone in the tenements. They could buy an actual like house with that, but
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds good. Let me see if I even need to dip into the fucking... Nope, I don't even need to dip into the bullion yet.
Nope.
You said 160?
yeah, that'll
Cool.
also cover the lawyer's fees as well. So it's just 160 for all of it.
Good. It's paid.
Alrighty. Well, then you can introduce Marcus to the barrister as manager of this trust that you've established. The barrister and him will basically meet each other, unless, I mean, if you ever want to, you can always check up on him. But other than that, the barrister
Yeah,
will deal with the
I'll-
details.
If I survive, I suppose I'll do that.
Yeah, and I think near about 10 a.m., everyone is awake. Much of the bags and supplies are packed. There's everything that's on your character sheet is on you, and anything that's in the villa is in the villa, which I don't think is much. And the 5 judges are gathered near the entryway. So,
Oh, the money I have in the bank vault, that is like fancy Mithdosian banks. I don't have to actually take that with me.
Correct.
Sick.
So for the 5 of you, how would you like to get to Mythos?
Horseback.
Okay, we could ride.
Can,
we could take a boat. Those are both.
How much is a teleport?
Jesus.
So much more money than is
Wait,
ever feasible to
hold
spend.
on. How much is it to know the teleport circle glyph?
Teleportation circle is given out for free by the Empire. The glyphs are highly guarded secrets, though.
Like, could we pull our rank and get the information on the glyph for Mythos?
The only people that will know the glyph. So to be clear, there's probably dozens of circles in Mythos, and the only people that would know them are the people who set them down. Because maybe the worst case scenario ever for the Empire would be someone like the Son of the Dragon gaining access to the glyphs of a circle in Nausius and then teleporting, infiltration teams behind enemy lines. So no, those glyphs are only in the head of the people who inscribe them, and there is, they will probably let you arrest them and just continue to appeal to higher authorities. So no, you can't really pull rank on that.
Wait, but so the teleportation circle is worthless to us?
If you make your
we
own
can't
circles, then it's
teleport
fine.
to it? Well, okay. What's the most familiar place we have? Wait, actually, where are we going? Mythos. One of you used to live in Mythos, right?
Not me.
Premius? Didn't you used to live in Mythos?
Oh,
Your
yeah.
family in Mythos?
Yeah, sorry, I was eating pretzels.
Prometheus removes a pretzel from his mouth.
I was just thinking how good the pretzels were. What did you say again?
Tasty pretzels.
Max misspelled with jerky.
Big facts.
He asked if you had lived in Mythos.
Oh yeah, yeah, for a long time.
Do you have anything that you took from Mythos? Does anybody have anything that they took from Mythos, please, within the last 6 months on you?
Where did where did I buy this mithril plate, Alex?
That's from Mythos. I
All right,
believe you also bought a bunch of mithril stuff in Ravinium, but I think I know for a fact your shield and your lance, and I think some of your other stuff is from Ravinium, but I think
But not for the last 6 months.
I think the plate is from Mythos, but it wasn't there in the last. It's not from there in the last 6 months. You bought that armor after the I feel like you bought that during the Forest of Hate arc, right?
The forest?
Yeah, the very first arc. Because in Ravinium there was that one Dwarven Smith, right?
I don't think did I buy the mithril plate from him?
Yeah,
What
I
did
think the plate is different.
What did I use to pay for the mithril plate?
That's a great question. It was
Didn't
probably
you give him the more mithril and also
What about Mickey's horse armor?
That is 100% recent. You bought that when you made a bunch of money on something.
Right. I can teleport all of us to Mythos immediately.
Holy.
Including Mickey?
Up to 8 willing creatures. Yes. We'd have to leave 2 horses behind.
I don't think that's a problem.
Yeah,
How
I mean,
does
you're,
a willing
other than Mickey, your
creature-
horses are highly expendable.
How does
And
a willing creature work if it's a horse?
Mickey's pretty smart.
Mickey's probably
Mickey is-
smart enough.
Mickey is quite smart.
But unless any
Give
of you are
him
like really attached to
onions.
horse.
Really, could Mickey comprehend being teleported?
Every creature
Yeah,
living
that's-
can comprehend being teleported. They have to be able to for any magic to work, because a bunch of spells require consent.
Now, the question is, if I recall, being teleported is not a very pleasant experience, especially
No,
the
it's
first time.
miserable.
Yeah, I don't think, I think you're gonna get 1 teleport out of Mickey, ever.
Well, this one would give us a lot of time, right?
Well,
How much is the other fastest route to Mythos?
I think we could just take a boat. I think
A ship
time
would
is
probably be
really
the
on our
quickest,
side.
which
How
would
much?
take...
Like 2 weeks?
Let's see. No. It'd be... Assuming good weather, it'd be like 4 days.
More time for you
I
to
don't know.
study.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's
4
just-
days is pretty big.
Well, can you not study on the boat?
No.
I mean, he's just reading books. isn't
Yeah,
No,
that's what I
I'm not.
He's practicing.
Oh.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I can't. I
Yeah,
don't have anything
practice.
to target on the open sea, really,
You're
sea?
civilians.
except for the boat. Yeah, but with the
Buy
sea,
a-
it's hard to gauge what I'm accurately hitting, and that's important.
Buy a
I need
bunch
to be
of
able to measure
barrels
that.
and toss them overboard.
Yeah, but I need to retrieve them afterwards to measure the exact distance and heading.
Tie a
It's
rope.
not precise enough. Doesn't work.
Tie a rope
On a
onto them.
moving vehicle, doesn't work.
Wouldn't that be
I'm-
better practice? You see like a slight grin starting to cross Maximus's face.
I'll like reluctantly smile, like, yeah, you got me there. Maybe, but 4 days is a lot of time, and this is more efficient. And honestly, I've been itching to be able to do this.
You say so.
I really just want to cast a spell, guys. Please.
As long as we don't end up like phased into
Putting us
a
in the
rock
lava
wall or
pit.
something.
That's why I asked if you have anything like an associated object. If you have an armor from a specific place, then we'll be able to teleport to that specific place.
You guys could get to Ravinium very easily. I know for a fact that like half of Maximus's equipment was made by a specific Dortmund Smith in Ravinium.
But we're going to Mythos, not Ravinium, right?
I know. I'm pretty sure Maximus's horse armor is from Nasius, because that's when he had a bunch of money to spend on random shit.
What
Would
about
we
the whole
teleport right to
that makes
the
sense.
Emperor if we
Tiberius?
used Premius's holy symbol?
I was gonna say, didn't Premius have like a
You'll have to pry it from my cold dead hands if you want.
No, not that. But like, didn't you recently get like a grant or something that like stuff that like documents that prove that you're you and you're part of the Emperor family?
Yeah, that's in.
And that you get
I
didn't you get that in
vault.
Mythos when you
Yeah.
you renewed your grant?
That's in a vault because that's the only thing on Earth that proves that I am who I am.
Oh, I thought you would.
That's like
carry that
the
on you.
life story of Prim. Why would I carry that on me?
Yeah, Zednis, do you have anything from Mythos on you? No, you
It's
live in Nasius.
If someone got that, they could just be.
I
like,
live in
"I'm
Tarraco."
A Tarraco, right near Nasius, right?
Teleporting to Rocco would save you 3 days. It'd be only a day's ride by horse.
Okay. Would you mind teleporting to your house then, Zednis?
Does everyone know where I live? I guess it's
Um,
fine.
We know where your
I don't
estate
know.
is.
I mean,
think I've ever
Corvus
been
is the
there.
only person who hasn't. Oh no, Corvus and Premius haven't been to your house, but Maximus and Grania both have.
Wait, actually, do I have does the item I taken from there have to be me?
Are
You mean an
referring to
item
No, I
he
just
yourself
need-
as
has
an
from
item?
there?
Okay, the item doesn't need to be taken by me. It just needs to be taken within the last 6 months from the place I'm trying to teleport to.
We could teleport back into that bank.
Wait, you have
vault.
7th level spell slots?
Did I not?
Do you?
I'm level
Isn't that
13.
level, like-
So
Oh, okay.
isn't that level 13?
I don't fucking know. This is
Yeah,
why you have a
should
character
be.
sheet.
Oh yeah, I forgot to level up before from last session.
Yeah, you do have 7th level sheets.
Yeah. And this spell, I paid a lot of money to get this spell.
yeah,
learned.
fair. Yeah, you can do that.
Right,
Now,
so
what
everybody
associated
agree-
object does Ennius have?
That's I just assumed he would have something from his house, but maybe he
You would
doesn't.
think, but
Maybe
I
his
don't think
clothes.
so.
no.
No, I wouldn't have bought those in
No,
Toronto.
of course not. You bought those in an actual nice silk place.
Or like your saddle on your horse.
I don't. I came with the horse. I
There's
don't
no
know.
shot his saddle came from
No,
me.
he bought it with the horse in
Toronto, dude.
Nauseous.
I don't think Taraka's an option. Yeah, I don't think that works.
Well, if
Okay,
you don't figure
here's the
something out
thing.
soon, I'm gonna start walking.
Here's the
Yeah,
thing.
I'm just gonna start heading.
We
to
can
the
just
boat.
teleport wherever we want. I have a few spots that are fairly familiar, but that's like then we're getting into slight chances of mishaps.
Yeah, nope, don't think so.
Exactly. So
Just-
we did
just
use an
send
episode. So
just
we
go-
take Mickey's armor. Mickey's armor was made of mythos within 6 months.
I don't think it was.
Did he not say earlier that it was?
No. It
Body?
was made within 6 months. It was purchased within 6 months. I think it was made in Nauseous, though.
Doesn't matter if it was taken from mythos.
Okay. I will say, to be clear, you're talking about, we're getting to like the metaphysics of objects here. So wherever the armor was forged is where the item is going to be associated with. So if you're
No,
teleporting,
wait. Let's. The spell says that that associated objects means you possess an object taken from the desired destination within the last 6 months.
yeah,
Not
but what is an
created
object?
there. A book from a wizard's library, bed linen from a
Mhm.
royal suit.
Yep, these are
Chunk
all
of
examples
marble
of
from a-
completed final goods. What was actually taken from Mythos was mithril ore. Or not mithril ore, refined mithril that was sold on the open market from the pillaging of the Dwarven Empire to the west. But either way, it wasn't the
Wasn't
armor.
it also smithed in mythos?
No, I don't think it was. I'm pretty sure he bought it in Nauseous.
Oh my god! If you teleport us to Western Valoros,
No. It would
we
just
have-
well, the end result
No,
would
we're
just
just
be that
proof.
you teleport to Mythos, but it would only be very familiar instead of associated. But Yeah.
What's the bad stuff for very familiar?
very familiar has a 5% chance of something really bad happening, and then everything else is, pretty close to the area.
I think I'm just gonna take the boat.
You don't want to take a 5% risk to just end the campaign.
Well, it won't be death; it'll just hurt a lot.
Guys, it's 3 days.
Well, no, before
Yeah.
days.
I'm voting for boat. You're spending too much time thinking about it, and if you have to think about your magic that much, I don't really trust it.
I'm not thinking about the magic. I'm thinking about the prep that I thought you guys would have something on you for that. Just to make sure from this place here that we are at,
Mhm.
I'm gonna take what's the largest room in the building?
That would be the central courtyard.
All right, I'm gonna take I'm gonna pick like a bit of like a flower, something I can actually like.
There's a piece of
Do they have any
embroidery
trees?
that says "Home is where the heart is." You could take that.
How heavy and large is that?
It's a piece of embroidery. It weighs like nothing, and its size is nothing because it's a piece of embroidery.
Okay, I'm taking that.
Ugh,
Huge.
big ups. To the harbor.
Yeah, I guess we're taking a boat.
Sadga.
Alright.
Sadga.
Glad to
Alrighty.
go.
Before we go, can
yeah.
I take my apprentice with me? Should I take it? That's so I can research further.
He has a
mythos?
job.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, in the Department of Magic.
What's his job?
He's a battle mage.
Oh, Why is he in here then, on the battlefield? What?
Because he's managed to defer his deployment. Why? Listen, why are we asking questions about how he's avoided getting sent to the front lines? let him cook, okay?
Well, because I'm asking how can I avoid it further so I can bring him with me where
If
I
you
want him
want,
to
you
be.
could just claim him.
Can I do that?
Yeah, I mean, the Department of Magic doesn't like when you do that to their employees, but short of appealing to a proconsul or higher, they can't stop you.
We just got.
Nah.
Noob's
I'm not
Department of
looking a
Magic
rep.
favor.
I'm not looking a rep. Fuck it. I'll tell him to scribe some scrolls for me on the side if he can.
Yeah, he can do that. I mean, again, he's managed to avoid getting sent to the front line, so he's doing as much research and as many things to make himself useful to the Empire as possible.
Yeah.
Okay, we head on to the boat. We have to pay 5 silver for the humans and an electrum for the horse.
Huge.
I have an electrum, but I don't have enough silver.
Oh.
Can I just pay for Mickey if someone covers me?
I have 2 silver. I can pay for me and somebody else. I'm not going to the money changes. Fuck those losers.
That's going to make things real difficult then.
I'm gonna pay my entire way in copper.
Okay, then you owe them 120 for you and Mickey.
Easy.
All right,
Oh, how much copper would it be? 60?
20 for yourself.
Ah,
How much
okay, I'll do it in
silver
copper.
is
Yeah.
an electrum?
How many silver? There's 5 silvers in electrum.
Oh, so I could just hand them an electrum for myself?
For every single person in the party. It is, to be clear, it's a silver per person and an electrum for a horse.
Oh, a silver. I thought you said 5 silver for.
No, it's 5 silver for the whole party.
Yeah, then I just hand them a silver.
For yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, so Maximus and Mickey and Zednius and Permius are all paid for.
I also have an extra silver if need be.
Rania, Corvus.
Granny.
I have
Nuts to this.
electrum.
I'm gonna pay with copper for the 2 of them.
Okay, minus 40 copper.
But I already paid for myself and somebody else. I don't know who.
Oh, okay. If you already paid 2 silver, then you and Granny are good. Okay, great. You hand over around $180 to no, $200 to the boat captains, and yeah, you'll just be headed to Mythos. It's one of the most common journeys in the entire Empire, so it's pretty fucking boring, all things considered. So that'll be our early December, the next couple of days. What are we doing while we're on the boat?
It's a good question.
Probably
I'm gonna
just-
roll for seasickness.
Gulp.
Research as
I-
much as possible.
Yeah, I mean, you can continue to make progress as long as you don't get in combat. So,
I get a little queasy.
sad.
I'll pray for the. I forget his name actually. What was his name? The guy who was assassinated.
How much progress do I get, by the way?
0, because it hasn't been a week.
Okay.
To answer your question, Blake, the heir to the Empire is, of course, or former heir, Consul Antonius Niberius Gaius Perusian Verusian.
Yeah, I will pray for him for the next 4 days, or the next 4 days.
Okay. What about you, Grania? What are you up to?
I don't think she'd ever. No, she rode on a boat once on the way to the island, right?
Yeah, to
Originally?
Gala Isle.
I can't imagine she's gotten very accustomed to it though, so she probably just sees
We
it.
also took a boat here, but yeah, I don't know how much that changes things.
You know, her 4th boat trip in her life, so. All right.
Probably just try not to die.
Okay. The weather is relatively okay. While the Galantian Sea and the Narcian Seas can have rough times of year, weirdly enough, December is not one of them. So, other than a bit of rain off the coast of Breton, which is very typical to that island, it's largely fine. And soon enough, you arrive at the great harbor of Mythos, the greatest city in the world. the 5 great departments, kind of form a piece of the skyline. You can see the dozens of great temples, the bustling population. And, I think you guys have been on the plains for quite a while. I think it's been 3 months, 4 months, something like that, since you were sent to Nausius. And Nausius is one of the biggest cities on the plains by far. And it even has this grandness to it because it's one of the older imperial possessions on the plains. But in comparison to the capital, it is a, pimple on the ass of a giant. Mythos has about 10 times the population of the largest city on the plains. Nausius has about 60,000 people, which is 20 times less than that of Mythos. There is no city in the world which even begins to approach the population of Mythos. It sprawls, and it goes higher and wider and grander than any city you will ever witness, because it is the greatest city in the world. And as you dock at the harbor and go through 3 tiers of Mythosian bureaucracy, which in most other cities in the Empire is largely ignored, but in the capital, to ignore the bureaucracy is almost a heresy. So you have to go through separate steps confirming your identity and paying tariffs, even though you're just passengers. And by the end of it, you're all out a measly 4 copper pieces. So who can afford that?
I can.
Okay.
I could also pay for everyone else.
It's 4 copper for the whole party.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Are you sure you can afford that?
I don't know.
A total of 6 sheets of paper are used in your admittance into the capital, and a total of 4 copper is extracted from you. And then finally, you are in the capital proper.
Dojan Empire is raping the environment.
No, they're destroying the deadwood. It's very different. That's not an environment. It's a hellish
never mind.
land.
Understandable. Carry on.
It is a literal evil forest.
Is the paper super strong too?
No. It's just paper.
Shucks. Well, yeah,
Anyways,
but it's made
the
out of
forest is
deadwood.
morally evil, so
Correct, yes.
it's okay to kill it.
Indeed.
So you're back in the capital, and it will probably be a while before the Master of Judges and his whole department manages to relocate themselves here. So what are you doing?
Time to go get equipped, as you say.
Sure.
I need to spend my money on stuff so I don't die.
Yeah, I will go to the Department of Magic and look at items.
Yeah, we doing a family field trip to the Department of Magic with the whole party?
Yippee! Yatta! Yatta!
Yeah. I have a question.
Yeah.
What was it that Jabberwock eyes were used in?
Fascinating question. I do remember what you're talking about. It is a material spell component. Let me go look at my Jabberwock sheet from
Because
many moons ago.
Zednius knows, because that's why he harvested them.
Yeah, and they are useful for
Yeah.
sure. It's just, man, it's been months. Let me go scroll through my notes. Yes, of course. Really? Fascinating.
Naturally.
I'm
Indeed,
curious.
indeed. It's just so interesting because my prep for that session, it just can't be right. The thing that I'm finding with that date has 2 paragraphs, which I know is not accurate.
It says here, it's used as an aphrodisiac.
I will give myself 30 more seconds to find this.
As an aphrodisiac.
Don't think that is what it's used for.
That's gotta be it.
Of course.
Okay. I found something.
Huge.
I found the prep. Now I just need to go look at the Jabberwock sheet. Where is my beloved?
Jabberwock, my beloved.
Okay. Fuck. It's taking longer to find than I thought it would. God damn it! Jabberwock. Where is J in the alphabet? Dude, this is bad. Okay, I give it. It gets 3
Okay,
more
and
seconds.
after I.
Wait, what if I type this? Oh, okay, I found it.
Jabberwock. Okay.
Okay. Jabberwock eyes are used for a high-level illusion spell is what I've written here. I could go find the specific one, but that is going to take way longer. So that will be my answer for you. A high-level illusion spell.
Okay.
All right. Family field trip to the Department of Magic. The Department of Magic exists in every major city of the Empire, but this is the Great Department. This is the origin, the locus of the entire organization. It has the greatest scroll repository. It is the grandest collection of arcane knowledge on the face of the planet. That one's a lot more disputable, but that is what they claim. And the 5 of you make your way in with 5 judges in one place, so you don't really have to wait in line. And soon enough, a clerk can see to your wishes. Since we're all here, what would we like? Are we all here to buy items?
Potentially.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is the Department of Magic?
The Great Department of Magic, yeah.
Okay,
Do they have flying boots?
Well, yeah. Since you're here to buy magical items, the clerk will send you off to another person, who will send you off to another person, and eventually you will find yourself in a small supply closet and be informed that because of the Edict of Patricia, there are items that are on auction, but they're not available to individual buyers. They are the exclusive domain of the Department of War.
I wonder. I'm gonna go consult my notes right quick.
Okay. But yeah, they don't have any magical items on sale.
What kind of people are getting sent to go take on this beast? Is it just like judges and all that, or have they redirected the war effort to this threat?
You have no idea.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you have the handout, the Imperial Edict, but as to how that gets turned into like Imperial policy, that is probably what Cato's up to right now. So you'd have to wait until he gets to the capital.
When did we want to go do this? Are we going right after we get our equipment?
Go do what?
Probably a bad idea.
Go
I think
kill
we want
this
some
dragon?
preparation. I think we should wait for Kato to at least give us more details at first.
He also told you
Yeah.
to wait for him.
Yeah, so let's just do
okay.
that.
Let's
Okay.
let the bureaucracy work first.
Good one.
That would be crazy, just walking into the mountains.
Up we go,
Holy.
lads.
Fuck, if we go, we ball.
That
It'd be a
is-
fast session.
It would be a
can we-
very fast session.
Can this guy at least tell us what they are? Like, give
Sure,
us a list or some
Let me
shit
go
like
pull-
that?
So scrolls you can still buy. Scrolls actually have a lower demand from the Department of War than was expected. Yeah, but in terms of magical items, I mean, there's a lot. Basically, there are 2 ways the magical items go into the private market. One is a collector dies and sells them, or 2 is you find new ones in tombs. Both of which have actually been happening recently. The clerk is actually a bit amazed because within the last 3 months, these 2 trends have changed. Lots of Imperial officers died on the plains during the last year, and as their estates have been slowly getting managed, a lot of them have been sold off to the market. Lots of Imperial
Big
officers,
Taurus.
about 2 legions worth of Imperial officers.
Oof.
And then for the other thing, he will tell you with great excitement that this private collector, an older man, has been commissioning adventurers to go pillage Tebrashan cultural monuments, like burial mounds of kings and stuff like that. And so that has also resulted in an increase in the amount of items on the market. Yeah. So
Can
I mean,
I,
I can start going through it, but there's like over 100 items currently on auction, which is about 10 times higher than the last time you were at the Department of Magic.
I'm looking for like armor,
Armor. Okay,
swords,
let's see.
lances, martial weapons mostly.
There is indeed a blessed suit of plate armor recovered from the tomb of a Mizdgoth, I guess claimant to the throne, who was killed horribly, but still buried with his armor because he was a member of the Imperial family. but obviously he can't buy it because the Department of War claimed it.
Oh yeah, we can go grave robbing.
Indeed. You did indeed go grave robbing last time, but that didn't work out too well.
Not really.
I don't know the excavation with all the way back.
That
The
one worked
resume went
great.
really well.
It worked once. Yeah. And then what was the other thing you said? Weapons.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's a ton. The one that I think is probably the most interesting to you would be, there is a great sword that was in the family of a Bologna officer, but his entire bloodline actually died in the Battle of Slapatosk. There is no one of his family still living, so their legendary family heirloom is on the market and claimed by the Department of War. It basically, it's a sort of life stealing, so every damage that you inflict gives you that much in temporary hit points.
God damn.
That's
Yeah.
pretty fucking good.
Is there any?
Does it also have like plus something to hit and damage?
Is there any? There were two separate questions, so I couldn't hear either of them. What was yours, Blake?
Yeah, I was gonna ask, is there anything that increases dexterity or any weapons I could use?
To be clear, none of these are actually buyable by you. They're all claimed by the Department of War. Spell scrolls are the only thing you can buy. But if they have those on auction, yes, they actually have better light armor than you currently have because it's enchanted rather than made out of good material. And they also have a bracers that increase your dexterity. Sorry, boots that increase your dexterity. And then, Hecka, what was your question?
I was just wondering about that sword, whether it had any enchantment in terms of just pure 2 hits plus damage.
No. It doesn't.
Thank you.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So, if you could get the Department of War to stop claiming literally every magical item on the market and essentially paying itself, then that'd be cool. But, that's not the case.
Well,
Maximus, how about you get promotion right away?
So true.
Well,
Pulls on
I
the
was
strings.
gonna go kind of try and work that angle,
No,
or maybe Kato shows up and he
Yeah,
does some
we wait for Kato. I think it's just
wizardry nonsense.
Yeah.
Are there magical items? Like, I know that magic shops aren't a big thing in Valoros, or really
There are zero
really
magic
a thing
shops in
at all.
Mithdosica because the Department of Magic has a monopoly on them.
Okay.
There
Yeah.
are private auctions, but those are borderline illegal. So, borderline.
Borderline illegal.
Unless
Borderline.
we left the, we could. I think the only other option would be to go to the Delian League.
Yep.
That's
There,
far
every
as fuck,
city has
ain't
a. It's pretty. It's
It
very
is.
far, yeah.
It is far as fuck,
But
yeah.
but every city has a different magical trading policy, so you could probably do some arbitrage there. But no, in the Empire, there is no magic shops. It is a monopoly, and then outside of the Empire, it is a patchwork of hellish laws and individual auctions and like backroom deals and yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
You only mentioned it once, but is the estate I used to live at, is that in Mythos or is that somewhere else?
I would imagine so.
All right.
Because you're a member of the Imperial family. Now, to be fair, probably didn't spend much time in Mythos itself because your father was in the military. You were in the military, so that means you would have spent most of your time out on the plains. But I'm sure you were in Mythos once or twice.
I don't know the policy. Are other judges allowed to stay in my estate or am I
It's
just,
your estate.
or-
You can do whatever you want.
Oh right, it's just a house. Yeah. I forgot that's what estate means.
The big house.
Well, I will extend an open invite and say like that's where we could live for the next, I guess, couple months or so.
Beats an inn.
It's also free.
Yeah, exactly.
I like the sound of that.
That's why it beats an inn.
No.
Alrighty. Well, have you
We
ever
will
been to this estate
graciously
before,
accept
or
your
did you
offer.
get it from other stuff? Like, did you get this
What do you-
recently? I don't remember how you got this.
Well, we mentioned this like once or twice when I first joined the campaign, so I never
Okay,
really
so you
saw...
you inherited this from your father then?
Yeah, I
Okay,
believe
sure,
so.
sure, sure. Well then, you make your way to the estate. It is well maintained. It comes with servants, parentheses, technically slaves, I guess, because they're tied to the property and they can't choose to work somewhere else. But anyways, yeah, so a master servant comes out to greet you. He seems surprised, but he'll, give a deep flourishing bow. Since the Department of Magic was a bust, you all kind of trail behind Primeus, and the master servant says, Lord Judge, it's good to see you home. Will you be staying for some time?
For the foreseeable future, I brought some guests with me, so see to it that they're well fed and rested.
Certainly. And what titles or names are for these lords and lady?
Lords and lady is fine.
Judges.
Judges.
Lord Judge, Lord Judge, Lord Judge, and Lady Judge. Well, Lord Judge Veruzian, I will make sure to prepare the house accordingly. And it's actually very, very similar to you guys' villa in Nasius. Obviously, not much in, I mostly mean in the size. Villas in Mythos obviously cost a fucking fortune, so even though this villa is worth probably 10 times as much as the villa over in Nasius, it's basically the same. And it has a lot more people in it because of all the servants, so it feels a bit more compressed. But there is an attached stable for Mickey, similar to the one in Nasius. And servants will immediately begin to prepare guest rooms and cook dinner. And unlike Nasius food, which is chronically underspiced due to a lack of spice because it's just not a particularly wealthy city, immediately the smells of pungent northern spices begin to fume through the house as they begin to prepare dinner. Spicy food is one of the markers of wealth in Mithdosica because it's expensive. It's very expensive. But yeah, you guys can relax throughout the evening. And it's going to be a couple days before Cato gets into town. So over the next 3 days, as we wrap up a sort of quasi-long rest, what are we going to do?
Research.
Yep, you can add 2 progress to your research.
Oh god, that makes me 6 out of 20.
That's pretty
What
good.
can I do to gain 3,000 experience points?
Go kill a monster. Or make severe personal growth in your personal journey as a human being.
I tried that.
How about get
and it didn't
married?
work.
Well, you tried it and actually succeeded, which is why you're currently your level, because you got like half a level's worth of XP from the Hedgehog thing.
Yeah, but I didn't level up from it, so I'm mad. I'm not mad, but Zednius is
Just disappointed.
I'm mad. No, wait,
yeah,
I'm
he
not
wants to be
mad.
stronger.
I don't know. I think you're just not going to get it unless you want to go to the Alien Mountains alone.
Shouldn't have died, bozo.
That's kind of true, to be
I mean,
honest. You shouldn't
It was
have
a
been the guy
save or
that he chose to
die
hit you with a
spell,
disintegrate.
okay? Yeah,
That's what
exactly.
I was
It
going
was
to
a
say.
save or
You
die
should've just-
one-shot kill.
Yeah, you should have mind controlled me and
Skill-
forced him to target
skill
someone
issue,
else.
honestly.
Hecko actually had a good idea.
Yeah?
Go get married.
That's personal growth, though.
I don't think him forcing a marriage in the next 3 days is actually an example of personal growth.
Well,
not
get
him.
betrothed then. Do it slowly and correctly.
3 days is not slow, brother.
I
thought
signed
he
on to a
was, like,
reality
starting-
show, married
I thought
on
he was
first
already-
date, so...
I thought he was already starting to via possibilities for that.
No, he met with some people in Tarako and it was really awkward and he's like, I don't know what to do. And then Dahlia's
Oh.
disappeared and so he put it on the back burner.
Okay.
Jesus,
and now I
you just
feel like I'm going to be
can't
moving
believe
up
you
in the
snitched
world,
on
so
him.
I can't be...
Yeah, you can't be marrying some lowly common wench. You gotta be marrying like a member of the Imperial family.
Not it.
Bro, you're not even in Zednius' league. Look at that handsome man.
That is true.
Well, they're both from the Emperor's family,
Yeah.
somewhat.
Yeah. Well, no, yeah, they're both equally a part of the Emperor's family.
What do you mean equally?
I mean, equally.
I'm not
You are both-
a Perusian.
That's
though.
fine. Being a part of the Imperial family, the Veruzian bloodline is as valid as the Perusian clan title. Because Veruzian means you're descended from the Emperor Varus, who is just the previous emperor. So, It's not that far back.
Nice.
When the current guy dies, a new bloodline title will probably be introduced, like Aurelianus or something, and then anyone descended
Will
from
people
him will
think
get
the Verusians are like
less
old?
important. Yeah,
They'll be like,
Correct.
okay,
They
boomer.
certainly will think that. Yeah, yeah. Because your Tullius's claim to fame comes from the fact that through some blood connection that you're not entirely certain of, he's connected to the former emperor, but no one has the blood name Domitian, for instance, because the first emperor was Domitus, but there are literally like thousands of people who are in some way blood descended from Domitus. So Domitian as a bloodline is never used, and it was outlawed by the current emperor because it's just like it means nothing. More importantly, it doesn't mean you're a part of the imperial family, I guess. But anyways, that was a long digression. I don't think you're going to get that XP before you go into mountains.
Will I have enough? Does it take a week to level up?
Does indeed.
Oh no.
Just carve out a week to level up once you do a combat encounter.
I'll try.
All right. It sounds like the main thing happening during these days is Corvus achieving some spell research, which makes sense because.
Is there? I don't think there's anything I can do to upgrade my stuff right now. Like I've got mithril everything.
Yeah.
Right?
If anyone doesn't
So
have mithril
kinda-
everything, now would be the time. But yeah, I think magical
kinda
items are
maxed
your main
out.
way of progression.
Yeah, the only thing I could get was, I guess, better studded leather armor, but there's no mithril version of that.
Right.
Hydra studded.
Hydra.
Hydra started,
It's
yep.
not Hydra.
It's
true.
not even that expensive.
It's
Why did I
also
get rid
true.
of it? I had it at some point.
Maybe because it
Yeah,
was.
Severus had it.
Actually, I have no idea why you got rid of it.
Well, I think it was
Wow.
license, right?
I was gonna
No.
ask
No,
for
I
that,
know
and
why we
everyone
got rid
was
of
like,
it.
We're gonna kill you.
That's
Severus
right.
died.
I did come up with something to do.
Was it Severus's? Is that what you're saying?
With the previous
Uh-huh.
leather armor, yeah.
Oh,
Talk
I guess that's
about
why I have it on my
Buy
inventory.
armor upgrades.
Glass also had one. Yeah.
Ah.
Oh, I do have Hydra studded leather armor. Then there's
Classic.
nothing I can do.
Absolute
Oof.
classic.
So, the main problem with this tonal manipulator I have, right, is if I hit it, it makes me go deaf.
Yeah. Well, no, that's the second problem. That's not the main problem.
What's the main problem?
It's designed for a giant.
Oh yeah,
It does.
That's
Well,
right.
that's just
I feel
that's
like
a minor
like-
inconvenience.
I thought. Wait, no,
Corvus
the
or Crania could
dude was
enlarge
was wielding it with two hands the first time, and then he got big and whipped out the second one.
Yep.
And then
He
one
was
handed
wielding it with two hands with a penalty.
Oh, I see.
Do we have? Wait, what about scrolls of enlarge? You said we could get scrolls.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, 100%. Let me go look at the price sheet for scrolls, because scrolls. I think this happened during the Edict of Patricia. The Empire instituted price fixing on scrolls because the Department of Magic was doing horrendous things to the other departments because they could. So the Emperor said, "No, chill. You can't do that."
Since Hetmanariel is my pact weapon, would he grow with me if I grew? Or would it be
yeah,
like a
he
giant wielding a small rapier? Okay.
Yeah, he would grow. He's not like a material
So
object,
funny.
really. Okay,
It's a fucking
so
toothpick.
what level is enlarge?
First,
Like,
I don't
What,
know.
second or
So
third?
low.
Okay, well,
I
you
don't
all
think
three
it's
just
third,
said
there's
different
no way.
numbers.
first
so
or
I'm looking it up.
second.
It's second. Okay, second level spells are currently price fixed at 100 gold pieces.
Big ups.
It's cheaper than it used to be.
That would solve one problem, but that would not. All right, I have a solution
it
for problem
concentration?
one. Well, no, the problem with this specific weapon is that it deafens me by creating a sonic boom each time I hit someone with it.
Yeah, but why do you need to hear?
Well, you said that guy
Well,
was
that's a valid
permanently deaf,
question.
Correct.
and the other issue is it deafens all of them too. It's not really just a me problem.
How did we deal with that? Would the candle melted wax earplug work?
Yeah, but
So
then
you
we're
deafen
also
yourself.
deafened that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you almost know sign language, right?
Yeah, but then you just take it out, and the problem is.
I mean, that would
Kind of
work for
fixed.
everyone but you, yeah.
Mm.
Because it's like
What's-
literally 10,000 times louder than you for you because you're holding the thing. You can feel it's literally vibrating your body. Like, while it is doing thunder damage to your target, it is
vibing.
also vibrating you. You're literally holding, like, imagine a jackhammer, but instead of using a little blade to break things, it's using pure sound waves. You're feeling the recoil of every fucking time that it pulses.
This guy had to have brain damage.
Yes! I feel like I explained this. That guy his body was broken. These weapons are not designed for human beings.
Yeah, I don't think there's really a way to use this thing. Well,
I mean, there is,
you know what
which is just plan to get some really high-level healing spells casted on you after you're done using them. Because there are spells which do heal, like, permanent bodily damage. I think it's Regenerate is one of them.
Well, would this not be like a greater restoration thing? Because I would get the blank
greater restoration could help with the condition, yeah.
Well, I'd get the deafened condition, but I don't think CTE is a condition in D&D.
No, the CTE will develop, but that'll take a long time. Yeah. You know, I mean, if you factor in some high-level healing spells, I think you can do it. I believe in you.
Yeah, I'm going to take the easy route out on this and do what we do with all magical items that we can't use.
Well, it's not a magical item, to be clear. I mean, a part of it is magical, but it's also partially technological.
Would that not make it even worth even?
The Department of Magic genuinely would have no idea what to do with about 90% of it. The thing they'll want from you is the magical core of it.
And I imagine that's not worth as much as the weapon itself.
It's worth all, yeah. I mean, very little, because they don't even know what they would do with it.
Private collector.
You're bringing an iPhone to 1810, and you're asking them to pay you millions of dollars for it.
Shucks.
I mean...
No, you don't mean I mean. They would have no remote context on how to even begin to use it.
Guys, we have iTunes on this shit.
You don't have Apple servers. Like, it's cool. It's really cool. And it is useful in its niche. But outside of that, it's, like, completely worthless.
Yeah.
I wonder if I can sell it to the Department of War and tell them to give it to the lowest ranking person
because it has magic in it. You have to give it to the Department of Magic.
Fuck, dude. Fuck the bureaucracy.
What about magical monopoly was not clear?
He wants to defect to the Son of the Dragon. There's could probably sell to anybody over
crazy
there.
Is this is like the most privileged way that you could ever interact with the bureaucracy of Mithdosica. Imagine being a normal person.
What do I do with this thing?
Just give it to the Department of Magic if you don't want it.
Obviously, I'm trying to spin a way that it benefits me the most.
Yeah, well.
I mean, we could yeah, I don't know.
Oh, what's this magic white rock I have, Alex? I think I identified it. Same place as the tonal manipulator.
Oh, okay. Let me go look at that guy's sheet then. Y'all are just making me pull up months old prep. This is fucked up.
This was our solo session. Like
that was I guess how many months? Ago. Yeah, exactly. Oh, okay, I found it. It casts hallucinatory terrain once per day.
Okay, that's pretty sick.
Pretty good.
Yeah, the Department of Magic will buy that for quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, I want roughly how much?
Because you only have the option of selling it to them, they'll offer you 800.
They can offer 800 to my taint.
Okay.
I'd like to sell some stuff to the Department of Magic.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna keep that.
A scroll of alarm and a scroll of glyph of warding.
Mm-hmm. See, those are both price fixed items, so they're going to pay you less than the price fixing so that they can make a profit on it. So alarm, they will buy from you for 15 gold, because that's first level spell, right?
Is it?
They thought alarm was a first level spell, yeah.
I don't know its spell.
It is.
Yeah, it's a first level ritual spell. Yeah, they'll buy that for 15 gold.
All right.
And then you said glyph of warding?
Yeah.
So that's a lot more. That is...
I have two of them.
Yeah, those are going to be a lot more. Now, it is a ritual, which does reduce the price quite a bit, but those are price fixed at 200 gold, so they'll buy it for 150.
Both for 150?
No, individually for 150. Like, each one will... 300 total.
300 total, okay. Yeah, so I get 310 gold?
Yep.
Alright.
No, 315 gold.
315. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got some spell ideas.
And
I don't know
then-
how much money we have to work with
And
for
then
scrolls.
I also have a magic quill.
Oh wait.
What was that, Yogi?
I didn't know if
Oh,
Prometheus
are
was
you done,
done.
Blake?
And I just
Oh, okay.
I mean I forget what the magic quill does.
You know exactly where that's from. That is from the encounter with the annoying cat inside of Ostatic.
Oh, right.
Yeah, because
The one I absolutely fucking murdered.
later on, yeah. So let me go find that for you, Blake, because I actually know exactly where to find that prep.
I remember I offered it to Heko, but he said no. So
He just said he
No,
didn't.
no.
I think he must have been doing
Did
something.
he?
There's no shot
I
he would
don't.
have said
I don't
no.
know if you offered it to me.
I
You
feel
gaslit.
like I feel like I said take your pick of the things, and you were just like, oh, I'll take the. I don't know. Maybe I made.
Okay, turns out that is not where the magic quill is from. We are cooked. Where did you get this item?
I think it was from the library in the same spot.
Okay, because it wasn't from the cat. Library. Lex library.
You know what? It might also. There's also a chance it could be from the Archmagus's like room where we found what's his name?
It could also be from literally anywhere.
No, let him cook. Let him cook. Where are you
It
thinking?
was where we found Tengi. It was like that Archmagus's.
Oh,
room.
okay. I actually think that's more likely than anything else you just said, because I looked through all the thing and I saw a lot of mention of scrolls in Ostatic. I saw zero mention of magical pens, but I do remember giving out a magical pen at some point. Why is this happening to me? You're making me review ancient prep.
You gave us a bunch of shit and then refused to let us
It's
sell
true.
it.
Well, no.
Wow.
You could have given it to the Department of Magic. No strings attached. You guys were being greedy. Okay.
Did you just say we were being greedy compared to the Department of Magic, which got censured by the Emperor for being too greedy?
Yeah.
Okay, just had to be sure.
Yeah.
Let's
I
be
did
real.
say that.
Let's be real. We would also be censured as fuck if we can.
You would.
If we
Okay,
can
you got
enough.
a bunch of scrolls from Jantissia. 100%. I have that written here. And Arcane Quill. Good job, Blake. Good job.
Nice.
Good job. Okay. Here is the description of this quill. Wait. Who is the ink of forgetting?
I do.
Okay.
The what?
All right. I just want to make sure
They
that.
forgot.
Do you have the description of what that does? While I'm looking at this.
No, it's not on my sheet, but you told
Okay.
us it was like whoever writes it forgets what they wrote.
There you go. Perfect. Okay, then, Blake, what yours does, it is a white feather with a golden sheen to it. Its tip is stained black with ink. The ability it has is that it can produce ink of any color.
It's like a JoJo stand. Well.
What?
What?
Oh,
It's more like the you know those like pens with like 8 things.
Yeah,
on both sides.
It's
like the crayon for the
Yeah,
kids.
exactly.
I've been consuming a lot of that show. I guess
can
it's just in
tell.
my head.
You just called a multicolored pen a JoJo stand.
Is that a JoJo reference? No, it's not. Stop.
Dude,
You're
it
being
was-
weird, bro.
it was the description along with the it glows.
You're
golden.
scaring the hose away.
So,
No,
what
the
would you like
hose
to do with
likes
this common
JoJo.
magic quill?
You know, I feel like I could throw it in the ocean for all I care. So
What the
I'll just
fuck?
sell it to the
I'll
Department
take
of
it.
Magic.
The Department of Magic will pay you the common rate for what they call aesthetic magical items, which is the staggering sum of 5 gold.
Nice.
Or you could give it to me,
You could. You could.
and I'll give you 5 gold and 1 electrum.
Holy.
Oh my
That is an
God.
illegal trade, by the way. But, you know, who's
Well,
gonna catch you?
he's just, you know, it's not an illegal trade because he's giving it to me, and I'm not giving him anything for it. I'm just giving him 5 gold and
Yeah,
well,
so there's a
election,
word for
because
this.
we're
It's
such good
called quid
friends.
pro quo, and it's also called tax avoidance of the Department of Magic's monopoly over magical items, both of which are illegal. So,
Okay, but like any
I mean,
options?
you can do it. No
like
one can
that,
catch you
okay.
doing this trade, but it is an illegal thing to do.
I think you're gonna have to persuade Primius to like do that because he's not for breaking the law.
Just keep it, bro. I'm gonna shit.
Just put the quill in
I
the
don't
bag,
care
bro.
enough. Just put the quill in the bag, honestly, man.
You don't even want to roll the persuasion
I
check.
don't think
Nah.
he does.
It's not that deep.
Because then there's a chance he always gets the nat 1, and then it's Jover, and he's in prison for attempting fraud.
It's just not that deep.
All right, take your 5 gold, Blake.
I did.
Okay. All right. Anything else we'd like to do over the next 3 days while we're waiting for Kato?
I'd like to sell this 9th level spell scroll.
Oh my god.
I'm kidding.
You
I'm
have
kidding.
power word, fucking power word win game? That's awesome, dude. You should
Oh,
use that on
oh,
the
I
dragon.
wanted to
Save
get-
us a whole 20
I
sessions.
wanted to do some scroll prepping.
Yeah.
So how much gold do you have, Maximus, to help us prep? Because this would be team-oriented stuff, I think.
Well, let's wander on down. Well, I suppose we'll do it on a case-by-case basis.
Okay.
I think
I
feel
do
we should
have-
wait to.
I
Well, yeah,
also-
just come with me.
I
Just
also
come with me
think
to
you should
the
wait
department,
until you
and
get
I'll
a-
tell you my ideas, and you can just say if it's too much or not. But the first one on my list is Pass Without Trace.
Oh,
I
that's
don't
like
think
what,
any of us
second
know
level?
that.
Let me go
Yeah.
see.
Yeah, it's very useful, yeah.
It is a... I should just leave the spell sheet open. It's a 2nd level spell. Therefore, by Imperial price fixing decrees, it will cost...
100 gold?
Yeah, 100 gold. Damn. This guy, he's caught on.
I'm so smart.
He is.
And you also told us what the enlarged price was, and I just remembered that.
They are the same, yeah, and both of them are non-ritual, so yeah, same price. This guy gets it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Now I say we're not gonna buy them right now.
okay.
I liked the wait idea. We'll see what Kato has up his sleeve.
He
Sure.
has like an all-access pass to the Department of Magic up his sleeve.
I would.
He's
Find
like
that
the Department of
unlikely.
War now, actually.
He also may say that. That is also distinctly possible. Okay, well, we wait for Kato, and we dream of magical items and scrolls.
Grania, how do you feel about teaching me some more sign language while we wait?
Sure.
Big ups.
Yippee! You can add
I
2
would
progress.
like to practice
Huge.
my stealth.
You can add... Well... So you're actually not getting a full week of rest in this... Like, in Mythos. The long rest is if you combine the time you were in Nasius on the boat and in Mythos. So does that mean you were doing stealth on the boat?
Well, no, because I was praying, so
Well, damn. No stealth,
Yeah.
Sadka.
no stealth.
Shit.
Alrighty.
Praying for 4 days, holy.
3 days after your arrival in Mythos, you all receive a summons. Well, I guess while you're at Permius's home, a courier arrives and informs you that at 10 in the morning, so in 3 hours, you are all to report to the Grand Auditorium within the Great Department of Civility. You are to bring your judges' badges.
Uh-oh. Well,
All right.
all right.
Are we wearing our normal kit?
Yeah.
Yep.
Question about the hydro-studded leather armor from
Yeah.
Cerberus. Do I have to get this refitted?
You do indeed.
Wait,
How long does that
wait,
take?
hold on. Wait,
How do
were
you
you allowed
get
to
that?
take that?
I
Wasn't
we
the whole
buried
thing
it
with Severus's
him.
armor that he had to like be buried with it because that means would let anybody take it? Or am I
Yeah.
misremembering?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Nope.
Okay. Because I honestly don't remember why I have it on my sheet. I might have been handed it immediately whenever you died, and then we buried with you later, so I forgot. to
Oh,
remove it.
yeah, and didn't change it off. your
That's
sheet.
possible.
That's distinctly possible.
Okay.
Well,
So I'll remove it.
this morning, the 5 of you make your way to the
Oh,
department.
Alex,
Yeah.
I'll tone my kit down to just a breastplate.
Okay. The 5 of you make your way to the Great Department of Civility. For some of you, this is your... Actually, wait, for all of you, this is your first time being here. Because when you were here in the capital last, the judges were a part of the Department of Faith. So the Great Department of Civility is also known as the Palace of Justice or the Temple of Justice. Oh no, you have been here when you were framing that guy for committing heresy. Oh man, good times, huh? Good times.
What do you mean by framing?
Oh, I mean framing. So you guys make your way to the
TSA.
very familiar, well, I guess once familiar, Hall of Justice. You are not going to the courtroom today. You are going to the auditorium, which is used for lectures on the law. As you turn a corner and head down a beautiful stained glass corridor depicting Saint Capdiosis giving divine law down onto man, there is a checkpoint. Every other time you've ever gone to meet with the Master of Judges, it's always been kind of like a casual thing, like a secretary waves you in, but there's like guards and shit. You walk up and there are two mages, one of whom ritually like has detect magic cast on his eyes, and he'll look your kit up and down, and the other person will step forward and ask for your judge's badges.
We'll show it to this individual.
Yeah, he'll take out a coin and scratch the surface of it, and after he kind of mars your badge, he hands it back to you.
Is the badge fucked up?
I mean, yeah, there's a scratch on it now.
What the fuck?
Seemed excessive.
He'll wave you through and ignore you and then extend a hand for Corvus's badge.
Can I prestidigitate
he-
a scratch away?
Yeah, certainly.
Also, I'll give him the thing and then prestidigitate the scratch away afterwards.
Yeah, that's fine. Basically, they person by person, they inspect you for magic and they scratch your badges. For Primius, they ask permission to squeeze your cheek just beneath your eye.
The reason for this?
Not the
You
guy
look
who's
real
like
cute.
not the guy with the detect magic. The other guy will say, "It's to see if your eyes are an illusion. The glow will change based on the movement of your cheek. If it's a pre-made illusion, it won't match to your skin."
Go on then.
He just kind of grabs the cheek skin slightly and like adjusts it left, right, down a little bit. And obviously, since yours is not an illusion, it looks normal. And then you are all waved through. This hallway is quite busy with activity. And I think, like mostly because the doors are closed. So there's about 40 people ahead of you. And I think looking at the crowd, the five of you could start to be like, oh, that's an Inquisitor, just like by his vibe. Like he just has an Inquisitor vibe. Be like, that's a judge. That's, I'm not sure, like a Praetor or something. Like there's very distinct groups of people here, but eventually the doors are opened and, people flood into the auditorium. There seems to have already been a small group sitting in. Maybe they went through a different entrance you guys were unaware of. And very quickly, before you guys even get into the room, people start to segment themselves. It's a hemispherical chamber, not unlike a symposium lecture hall. There are 5 tiers of closely packed seats that can probably fit around 200 people. The first 2 tiers kind of self-select for judges and inquisitors. They wear armor. They bear the scars of their profession. All the inquisitors wear golden holy symbols or better around their necks. The last 3 tiers are for observers, from what you can tell, and based on their fineness of dress and the few marks of rank that are visible, they are praetors and tribunes from a variety of the different great departments, including civility. In the first 2 tiers, as you're, all kind of squeezing into this room, you can see some familiar faces. Father Hyperion is seated beside Father Rixion. His bald and scarred head has like a slight glimmer to it under the sunlight from the ceiling. And in the first row, you can see a familiar-looking dog seated next to a well-dressed senator. And after a couple of moments, Maximus and Zednius, you recognize it is Lars, your former compatriot, seated in the front row with his dog Gore.
Oh shit!
Oh shit!
There are about 20 other judges and about 30 inquisitors that are either in the line with you trying to get into the room to sit down or already seated.
Can you remind me real quick the circumstances of Lars's departure from our group?
He got them to end his contract so he could go serve his father in Regia.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll book it straight towards Lars.
Yeah, you part from the crowd.
No, I'll go with.
Okay, the 2 of you guys part from the crowd, leaving your fellow judges behind. Lars, you see 2 of your old compatriots, Zednius and Maximus. They both look a bit different. Zednius is taller than you remember, bulkier. Maximus has much nicer armor and more scars than the last time you saw them, but, they mostly look the same.
Okay. He'll stand up and give like a more proper greeting. Zednius, Maximus.
Lars,
It's been
good to see you.
so long. Yeah.
What
Are you here by choice?
uh,
Well, seems like they needed my help.
yeah. Yeah. That seems like they needed everyone's help. But
Well, if you're
what
not
have you been
too
getting up
rusty,
to?
it'll be good.
Wow.
Very true. What have you been getting up to in the meantime?
One moment. I forget the word for it. Well, since I reconnected with my family again, I ended up becoming the Aedile of Regia, which has been keeping me plenty of busy.
Aedile, Alex?
Aedile is a second rank on the Imperial ladder of offices. It denotes someone who manages public festivals, public property, things like that, typically assigned to a city.
I would imagine so. Well, good to see you've been keeping trim. We'll hopefully run into each other again.
Looking forward to it. You guys look like you're doing well.
That's a word for it.
And now, as slowly seats start to fill up, it's gonna be like high school again. I'm gonna ask you guys where you're gonna sit.
One quick question, Alex.
Yeah.
Was it Hyperion or Rixion that I gave the money to?
Rixion.
And Hyperion is the one that's here?
They're both here. They're sitting
Oh.
next to each other. Hyperion is the one who joined you on Gela Isle. He also is known as the Hangman of Nausius. He's also the one during the Warrior Lodges session who got in basically a screaming match with you.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because he didn't want to. He
It
didn't
all
believe
comes
we
back.
could solve it my way. That's
it all
right.
comes back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Okay.
stay with Father... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna go up to Rixion and basically ignore Hyperion's existence.
Yeah, you squeeze past 3 or 4 like Inquisitors. Like you do the thing where you're like, "Oh, can you scoot your legs in?" And they're like, "Okay, fine, sure, whatever." And so they like stand up. It's like you're kind of like shimmying past them. It's really awkward. And then there's no free seats next to them, so you're like still standing while you walk past Father Hyperion. And Father Hyperion stands up and extends a hand, and he says, "Lord Judge."
What's the like? Oh, I suppose it would just be Father. I guess.
Do you shake Father Hyperion's hand?
I will shake his hand. I won't be intentionally.
Yeah, I mean, he'll shake your hand and he can tell that you're not here for him, so he'll sit back down, and Father Rixion is seated beside him. And Father Rixion, you of course saw Maximus pretty recently, about 2 months ago. You and him tackled that Warrior Lodge case together.
Max.
Father Rixion. I was just coming to make sure you got your share. The teleport scroll finally sold.
Yes, I did. Thank you for following through.
Of course. When I know I can be a bit stingy with my money, but my word's my word.
Yeah. I was just gonna see how done up is his breastplate. Does it seem like he spent about 100 gold on just decoration?
No, I think it's just painted green.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I won't say anything.
I fancied up Mickey's armor.
Yeah. You go outside
Okay.
and you're gonna be real disappointed, but right now it's fine.
Wait, what?
I said if Yogi goes outside, he's gonna, like, Rixion's gonna see your horse and he'll be real disappointed. But at present, you're just wearing a green painted breastplate. So
yes,
I think Father Hyperion will kind of glance over and say, "Well, with your newfound wealth, do you intend to donate it to the church?"
Well, I'm gonna make it through the next couple months first, and then yes, I will donate some of it to the church. Most certainly, the church is what raised me and helped make me the man I am today.
He nods.
I'll also nod.
Yeah, when you and him aren't arguing, he's a pretty civil guy.
Yeah, that makes he got a little heated in the
Yeah, I
moment.
mean, you and
I'm
him
sure.
served together on
Sure.
Gala Isle. You got along most of the time.
That's true. That's true. Well, how have the planes been? I mean, for you personally, not in general.
Hyperion will shrug and he'll say, "Neither of us were in the war camp when those green demons attacked the trolls. It was a shame.
Ah, yes.
I think Father Rixion would have, delivered the Emperor's justice to them." And he'll look over at Rixion and smile.
Yes, done circles, as it were.
Only.
And I'm sure you'll be glad to know that your advice for the warrior lodges was taken. Much of them still exist.
Yes, I know you and I had some disagreements on that, but I think it turned out as well as it could have.
He shrugs. He does not believe that, but that's okay. Not about to start the argument again. It's kind of already been decided.
That's just, probably for the best.
Yeah.
Well, seeing you all here gives me hope that we may succeed. Good seeing you both. And I'll awkwardly
Likewise.
make my way back out again.
Yeah. So, while Maximus is doing all that, for the other four of you, I think we'll start with Grania. Grania, there is, in the first row, which is where most of the judges are seated. You don't know any of them other than those in your party, of course. Are you going to try, are you going to sit between two people you don't know? Are you going to, there's no area where there's 5 open seats, so you won't be able to sit only next to your fellow party members. Is there a particular, member of your party that you want to sit next to? What's the seating arrangements? What are we doing?
Granny is a little bit curious. Are the judges that they met that one time at the head judge office, the 2 women judges there?
Yes. No, wait. The 2 women judges? No,
Yeah.
no, they're not there. But there is one person I think that you'd recognize. Do you remember a young man who was a Imperial Legionnaire
I was gonna
conscript?
ask, he's still alive.
Whoa!
Yeah,
Holy shit!
yeah, I mean,
Dude.
so I think that he's the second most memorable person that you saw while in that hallway. And sure enough, you see a young man, 22. He has a 1,000-yard stare. There's deep bags under his eyes, and he's seated next to a man that's dressed like a Protonic knight. And there's a seat to the right of the young man. But yeah, there's 2 other people from the that one hallway. There is the very shady looking assassin, essentially, and then one other person. Oh, a man in his early 20s with a very simple spear and chainmail. Those 4 were all in the hallway.
Are they sitting together now?
No. 2 of the random young conscript and the knight are seated next to each other, and then the other 2 people are just elsewhere in the room.
How many options is that? 4 people or 3 people?
You can sit literally anywhere you want. If you want, you can sit between 2 strangers. If you want, you can grab Zednius and drag him along with you.
Honestly, whoever looks the most interesting, Granny is going to go sit next to.
Okay.
She's curious.
Define interesting.
The most different looking from the other judges.
Are they all
Okay.
human?
No, there is a dwarf.
Not the dwarf.
Oh.
Wait. Yes, the dwarf.
I was about to say racist Grania! Huge!
You walk over and you sit down next to a dwarf with a long white beard and a little bronze helmet and glowing eyes.
Is he
Is it
even
Ingram?
acknowledge her?
He gives you a slight nod.
She'll wave.
Or
He'll look
Fargrim?
over at
Wait,
you and he'll say, "Hello?"
She'll sign hello and then wave.
He'll kind of blink at your hands and shrug and look back forward.
No.
No, people who don't speak a sign language, no. The majority of the Empire, no. Yeah, he
Maybe
also
we'll
wears a
silently
holy
love
symbol
it
around his
for you.
neck that isn't to Aurelian Soul, which is, I think, probably intriguing as well.
She will point towards it.
He looks down at it and looks over at you. It's a balancing scale that's a little bit off weight, and he'll look over. What?
She'll tilt her head to the side and put her hand to her chin, questioning.
Are you mute or something?
He'll nod.
Oh. Well then. Yes, it's to my god, Kuravash, god of justice.
She seems intrigued. Like, kind of egging him on to like, talk
Yeah,
more.
I mean, he begins to continue. He is going to get interrupted by the starting of ceremonies, but we'll kind of zoom back in time a little bit to Hermias. Where are you going to sit down?
Next to Father Hyperion.
Okay,
My
you
old
sit
friend
amongst the
who's dead.
Inquisitors on the second row, even though you are not an Inquisitor.
Let's fucking go.
So it's you, Father Hyperion, and Father Rixion. Nightmare blunt rotation. Okay. Zenius, what about
Time
you?
to argue about the Summa Theologica.
Oh,
Let's
true.
fucking go, dude.
Oh, that's really minor
Uh,
thing is actually supposed to be this way.
Yeah, and we
If
should
there's
kill
a
people
spot
because
next-
of it.
If there's a spot open by Lars, I'll sit there. If not, strangers.
Yeah, there is next to Lars. His dog keeps some people at arm's length, so you can sit down and Gore will, I mean, Gore's not a cuddly type, but he is familiar with you, so he'll just
Yeah,
kind
he
of
knows-
remain seated. Yeah, he knows you. You and him killed undead together. You played fetch with skeletal bones. And then, Corvus, what about you? You don't recognize most people here. I mean, gee,
I recognize anybody besides
That's what I'm
besides the
thinking.
party.
I don't think so. I mean, when you were a
Like, more
judge,
than,
you didn't do much
several I've seen them
cooperation.
before. Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't do much cooperation as a judge. You mostly did solo stuff. I mean, there were two people you would have been familiar with, but which are the two women. It's an older woman and a younger woman, Mother Plution and Vespania. Those two are they're a pair of judges, and you did a job with them once, but they're not here.
Good as hell.
So I don't know.
I'll just set to. What is there space near Grania?
There'd be a stranger between the two of you, but yeah.
Okay, I'm just sitting where the person next to me is least likely to annoy me.
All right, you sit on either side of this dwarf who seems you can see him like beginning to wind up to talk to Granny about something. You just sit on his other side. All right, and lastly, Maximus, where are you going to sit down?
Let's sit down next to the dude with the 1,000-yard stare.
Yeah, you shimmy on over and you sit down next to the young man. He doesn't even acknowledge you in any way, but the man so one seat over from him, the armored knight will kind of look over, and you see him he feels like you look familiar, and then he extends a hand and he says, "We've met once before, right? In the hallway to the Master of Judges.
Yes.
Helquith.
I'm sorry, I
Helquith
don't-
Lartia.
Maximus.
I remember that, and you had that horse. We spoke about our horses.
Yes. Mickey.
Indeed. Is your horse well?
Oh, yes, he's better than ever.
Splendid, and he
Keep
does the
him
motion
very
like he's
close.
about to slap his knee, but he slaps the young man's knee, and the guy has zero reaction.
I'll look at the guy. You okay?
He looks over at you. Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm kind of astounded you're sitting here in front of me.
Helquith kind of butts in and says, "Oh, he's done wonderful. We just finished a brief little expedition to the southern frontier. Not the, there were no undead, mind you, but there was this little
Oh, I know.
scamp playing amongst the trees, a little fae trying to kidnap people from villages and the like, and so we traveled into the Deadwood, and oh my, good old boy here had a bit of a hard time. He kept going on about this color, but whatever it was, I never saw it."
My face will go pale. Lurple?
The young man looks at you, and the two of you share an experience, which is you've seen something that, to anyone else, seems silly. There's nothing scary about it, but with the two of you, it was horror.
Aye, boy. I've seen Lurple.
He slowly nods, and Helquith says, "Oh, he's been going on about it for weeks. He called it something simple. What is the deal with this? He can't explain it properly."
No one who's seen it can.
Huh, well,
It's...
I guess that will teach him to go peeing outside the camp at night. Shouldn't have stayed within the tent, then he wouldn't have seen it.
Yeah.
All the best horsemen learn to pee in their saddles rather than dismount in battle. Your Maximus can confirm that for you. And the young man just kind of looks at you deadly.
I don't think I ever resorted to that, but I'm not going to tell him that. We would just take stops every hour or so. What is wrong with this guy?
This guy is like slandering all cavaliers right now.
Were you a cavalryman before this?
Helquith shrugs. I suppose technically. I'm a knight of Breton. A pillar of virtue, order, and justice.
And piss.
Is there a phrase for what would we call like hedged knights here?
In the Empire, you don't have terms for them because these people don't exist.
Okay,
you would call them like an equite, which just means like cavalrymen, but obviously that doesn't have the connotation of like all the other shit.
So you weren't in the legions at all?
No, I mean no offense, but I serve the people of Breton.
Yes, and pissed from your saddle?
Right. Think of this. You're riding across an open field, and he begins to try to immerse you in the context in which he thought it was appropriate to piss himself, but the conversation will be interrupted by
thank God,
the starting of
the bell.
the meeting. Up on stage, at where a lecturer would normally stand, are three men, one of which is Cato. The other of whom you don't recognize based on his face or anything else, but he wears the garments of an autarch, meaning one of the 5 heads of the great departments. He's probably the Department of Civility based on the context. And then standing next to him is a cleric with the brightest eyes you have ever seen. For context, this room is kind of already glowing golden. I mean, there are 20 judges, 30 inquisitors, clerics and paladins are massively overrepresented. Average level, somewhere around like 9. So these are very bright glowing eyes. Compared to this man, most of the eyes in the room look dim in comparison. Only, Rixion and some other similarly leveled paladins and clerics have eyes even remotely approaching this level of brightness. Like as he looks around the room, there's this like kind of like golden spotlight that moves as he looks. I think that actually everyone just make a religion check. We'll see if you recognize who this person is. Who this cleric is. Oh, Jesus, Corvus.
Well, obviously it's so and so.
Yeah, obviously. One sec.
Alright, that's not terrible.
Yeah, so Corvus exclusively knows that this is the Ecclesiarch of Mithdosica. So, following the Light Wars and the Varusian reforms, every province, the whole structure was reworked. So the way it works is every province has an ecclesiarch, and then the ecclesiarchs report to the autarch of faith. The ecclesiarch of Mithdosica is the most prestigious position for obvious reasons, and it also is a position you serve in for life. So this person is basically, other than the autarch of faith and the emperor himself, the highest ranking religious official in the empire. He's also a priest. He's not a senator, he is a priest. Like his entire life he has served the faith. Well, his second life, maybe more, considering how bright his eyes are. And as he, kind of closes his hands into kind of a clapping gesture, the whole room begins to go quiet. And the autarch of the Department of Civility will step forward. A couple of people are still drifting towards their seats, but he begins to talk. Welcome, everyone. Before we begin, it is worth reciting the edict that brings us all into this room. By the supreme authority vested in us by the Almighty in our capacity as head of His Holy Church, Emperor of Mithdosica, and Sovereign Lord of all of men, we do hereby decree as follows. Let it be known that all imperial judges and inquisitors presently available shall, without delay, report to the imperial city of Mythos under the command of the Master of Judges. They shall be tasked with the eradication of the entity designated as the Beast of Atlia. Until such time as this threat is confirmed to be destroyed, no other duty shall take precedence. The coordination of this effort shall be centralized in Mythos with formal reports submitted to our persons at regular intervals. Furthermore, all great departments of the Empire are hereby commanded to render all reasonable assistance to the judges in the fulfillment of this mandate. Thus is our will, Aurelian Invicta Sol. This was the edict that passed through the Empire several weeks ago at this point. Now, I and the Master of Judges Cato have been hard at work in implementing these procedures with assistance from the Ecclesiarch of Mithdosica, and he kind of lowers his head in thanks. This is the most important duty that you can serve to the Empire. There are two great threats which face us this day: the son of the dragon out on the plains, and this beast in the mountains. Now, I will let the Master of Judges continue. Please welcome Cato, Master of Judges. And Cato will kind of step forward, and a round of applause will kind of echo mostly through the observers. None of the judges really clap. A couple of the Inquisitors give the laziest claps of all time. Do any of you guys applaud?
Like a little
man.
clap.
Okay, you give the lazy Inquisitor clap.
Like a respectful nod.
Cato steps forward and says, "Well, thank you for coming, all who are here. As you all know, news of the beast's arrival in the mountains has begun to leak out to the wider population, but we are still trying to keep the details sparse. So anything that you hear here should be kept amongst the people that you see around you. If you are unsure, you may ask your superiors within your various departments, and for judges and inquisitors in this room, there is no valid reason to speak to anyone regarding this other than myself or people you meet in the line of duty who are absolutely critical for the conduction of your efforts. Now, it is worth summarizing where we are. Back last month, 5 judges were killed in the Atlian Mountains while they were investigating extinct and alien creatures which have appeared in the Atlian Mountains. The cause of their death, as determined by the Ecclesiarch, is a bronze dragon. These 5 judges varied greatly in their skills, but some among them, such as the deceased Viria twins, were among the strongest in the Empire. Marcus Viria, for all those who knew him, was one of the mightiest soldiers of a generation. It is worth considering that as we think of the power of the threat that we face. A bronze dragon is, of course, a thing that is anathema to us. Such a thing does not exist. Red and blue, perhaps, but bronze, never. We have seen this creature, though, through the Ecclesiarch's own eyes. And the Ecclesiarch will open his hand and using, a very low-level cantrip, will form a minor illusion of the dragon in his palm. Now, you guys hadn't seen that. I mean, none of you have seen a dragon in real life, for obvious reasons. But you haven't even seen, good illustrations of them. Because in Mithdosica, they're just so... They're so mythical. They're depicted as worms. But what you see rendered in a floating image around the Ecclesiarch's palm is a 4-legged, bronze-scaled, winged creature with a terrible maw and this beam of a white light exiting from its mouth. It's not fire, it's like plasma. It's something way more than fire. And as the little illusion circles over the Ecclesiarch's palm, Cato will continue. The Imperial Edict leaves no room for interpretation. This operation will be conducted with me at its head, as granted by the Emperor. However, I have already received offers of aid from every autarch of the Empire, and I accept them with grace and appreciation. All judges and inquisitors present in this room, you are under my authority now, and together we will face this threat. I believe that in the coming weeks I'll negotiate specific deals with each of the departments to assist you in your endeavors. At present, I can report that I have managed to negotiate with the Department of Magic. The Department of War will temporarily suspend their mass buying of all items, and judges and inquisitors, you shall have access to them as well. This will not be a bidding process. You have to buy them outright. Further deals with the other departments will exist going forward. Now, in the short term, we must research this beast through all available archives of knowledge, Imperial or not. Any mention of a dragon in the East must be included. I ask that those of you with scholarly experience lead the charge on this. There are those among you fellows who have great experience in battle, but not so much in wielding a pen. We need intelligence here, not just raw strength. The judges who died, they were very strong. That was not enough to defeat the dragon. Additionally, all teams are going to be formed into a coherent force. There are many of you who are used to working alone or in pairs. This cannot persist. There were 5 judges in those mountains who died. That is our minimum size of group going forward. Ideally, we'll form larger groups, inquisitors and judges in the same party, 10, 15, 20 mighty warriors all together. But we will just be discussing this one-on-one in the future as I form your groups into more coherent bodies. Now, our long-term goals are thus. Kill the beast of Atlia. Then, we must stop the influx of these foreign and alien creatures into the Atlian mountains. And then, we must figure out where this creature came from in the first place. The beast of Atlia is scary, but what is scarier is that we have no idea how any of this began. He nods and takes a step back and gives the floor to the Ecclesiarch of Mithdosica. The Ecclesiarch steps forward, his kind of golden eyes pass through the room, this spotlight following them. These are good men who speak with me today, faithful servants of the Emperor. There's no room for partisanship. I know that our departments have had troubles in the past, but we are all servants of the glorious Emperor. I look unto you, Inquisitors, for I was once one of you. You will conduct yourselves with grace and follow all edicts given to you by the Master of Judges. And for those of you in the audience, and he looks up towards the other rows with senators from other departments, there is no excuse not to follow their requests. Your Emperor has commanded that this beast be slain. Thank you. And he steps back. And finally, Cato steps forward again, and he produces a scroll. I'll be reading out a list of names. Each of you, each group of names, is going to be a party. You will be meeting with me in my office once I finish answering questions from the senators gathered here. And he begins to read off a series of names. As he said, these groups are large. You were one of the most sizable groups of judges, 5 whole judges in one party. But that is the minimum now. So your group remains unchanged. No new judges are added to the fold. But for example, all those judges that you met, like those 4 judges that you met previously in the hallway, all 4 of them are lumped into a group with 8 other inquisitors. So the 50 or so judges and inquisitors are lumped down into about 5 different groups, or I guess 6 different groups. And then you're all dismissed. Now it's going to be a sort of Q&A session where Cato answers questions from the various senators, but in a great mass of some of the most talented fighters in the Empire, all the Imperial judges and inquisitors kind of spill out into the hallway because you're going to be kind of milling about until Cato's done with his Q&A.
Was it just us 5, or were there
Just
a few
you
others?
5, yeah. In your party,
Okay.
at least.
Does my 14th level archery thing have a restriction on the size of creature it can be cast on?
I think it does.
I didn't think anything. It didn't have a whole lot specified, so.
Put in chat.
I'm not gonna post the whole table, but this is the spell itself.
Oh, no, that doesn't have a limitation on size. So, out in the hall, groups of judges and inquisitors will go to mingle with the people that they've now been paired up with. You watch as Helquith, or I guess Maximus, you watch as Helquith drags away the young man to go meet with the inquisitors they've been assigned to. But yeah, it's just the 5 of you. You haven't been given anyone else. You're not sure whether that means Cato has confidence in you or he is unable to alter the composition of your group. But either way, it's just the 5 of you still.
Time to go to the Department of Magic. Let's go.
Well, you have to wait until Cato calls you in because he says he's going to talk to each group.
Oh.
Can we skip the line to go first so we don't get cut?
There is no line, and he's just going to call your names when he's done with his Q&A. The answer is you're waiting. Unfortunately, this is one of the few times where your judge's status will not save you. Everyone else in this hallway is also a judge.
Quick clarifying question as well on that spell.
Yeah,
Do
yeah.
I know how long it's going to last when it's cast, or is it just an
No, it's random.
amount of time? Well, what I'm asking is like when the number
yes, you're
is
going to roll
to
the 1d
divide,
plus 1. Yeah.
But then does Grania know how long? It's
Yeah,
going to be in
I mean,
there?
yeah, I guess you would have to because you're the one rolling it. It'd be weird for the player to know something their character doesn't.
Okay, just curious.
Yeah, you guys are the 4th group to be called upon, so there's at least 3 other groups that are going to get to the Department of Magic before you. L plus Bozo plus ratio.
How many more after? How many coops total?
I think there's 6. I'd have to go check like some deep notes to find it, but I think there's 6. Yeah.
Empty.
So you guys are invited in. The auditorium is the same, but the Autarch of Civility is gone. The Ecclesiarch of Mithdosica is gone. All these senators that were in the audience are gone. He's finished his Q&A. He's now meeting with individual groups. Cato looks tired, but I mean, that's kind of understandable. He's probably had the most busy week of his life. And as you guys enter into the auditorium, he's like seated in one of the seats, like on the first row of the audience. He's not like up on the stage or whatever. And he gestures for you guys to come over.
Yeah, we'll go over.
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right. You're going to, your charge is to go scrounge as much information as you can about the Beast of Atlia, or anything you think is relevant to the happenings. And, eventually, once I get things further organized here, you're going to go recover the body of the judge that survived. Well, of the 5 dead judges, only one of their bodies is still intact. It's up in the mountains. You'll be the group that's sent to retrieve it once I get the logistics worked out.
Which judge is this, if I may ask?
Her name's Mother Pludion.
Wait, I know this one, right?
Yeah, you do. In fact, the whole party does, because there was a woman, an older woman and a younger girl out in the hall. They were 2 paladins. Mother Pludion was the older of the 2.
Hmm.
So Cato will nod and say, well, that is your charge. Do you have any questions?
You have a map of all the sightings of the Beast of Atlia.
Not yet.
Are there any other teams on this task specifically that we should coordinate with?
No. About half of the groups are being assigned to immediately make their way to the foothills of the mountains to make sure no other creatures try to escape. The other half are being assigned to scrounging up information like you are. But no, there's only one body. I don't think it'll be very difficult to recover. And like I said, I'll need to get the logistics worked out. You'll probably have a week or 2 to research before you need go up.
Alright, sounds pretty simple.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, reach out to anyone in the Empire that you think will be useful. If you have contacts from your time as judges or in your personal lives, and we're putting all hands on deck here. And anything you discover about the Beast of Atlia, or could even remotely be relevant to the situation we are facing, please send it to my office as soon as you find it. And if you have a difficulty on where to start, the Ecclesiarch of Mithdosica believes that the scream heard many months ago was connected to all of this.
Mm.
Now, I'm not sure how long it'll be before I give you your orders to make your way to recover the bodies from the mountains, but you'll receive a notice.
I have a apprentice, obviously. Have a young battle mage in my apprenticeship that he's working out of Nasius for the Department of War right now as a retinue. He's not deployed. I was wondering if there's a way to get him here as a research assistant. He's been pretty useful in my research so far.
Yes, you can summon him, invoke Judge's privilege with the most recent edict. As long as it has to do with defeating the beast, they cannot decline our request. Not in good faith, anyways.
Okay.
Anything else from the rest of you?
Don't think so.
All right.
Is
Well,
there wait? Actually, is there a way for us to get access to the teleportation circles for faster transport?
You could probably negotiate with the Department of Magic on a circle-by-circle basis. They're going to request that you give a very good reason as to why you need specific circles, though.
Yeah, okay.
All right, well, if there's nothing else, I have other groups to get to.
Alright.
Department of Magic time, let's fucking go!
Prometheus begins to skip out
Hopping
of the
spree.
room, pushes open the door, skips past the other judges who still have to wait to meet with Kato. We do have an adjustment
All
to
the other bosses are already gonna have bought shit.
we have an adjustment to our reputation in the Empire. For every department except for civility, our reputation is going to increase by 2.
Ooh.
Huge.
Why is that?
Because
With
you,
the edict.
and by extension all other judges, have received the direct endorsement of the Emperor that people should help you.
Nice.
Do we have a thing that says that?
Yep, it's the Imperial Edict that we've read 3 times.
But
Okay,
we
we'll read
can't
it
show
again.
people that, right?
Yeah, can we
No,
read
but
it
it's a
another
common
time?
piece of Imperial law. Like it's the same
I
as the
was
Edict
paying
of Patricia.
attention
It's
to
like
the
a
edict,
binding
but I
government
know
document.
Other people may not have been, so
Okay.
if you could read it again.
Oh my god.
All I know is that like we aren't supposed to tell people what we're doing. But
No, he said you could if
how
it's
do I-
required for your job.
No, that was.
But how do we know the
months
Department of
ago.
Magic will be like, oh, okay, cool. Now
Because
that
it's
you had this meeting,
that edict
I
he
can tell you
passed
step
is a
two, but-
publicly known edict. Like that was posted on like courthouses and shit. It's a binding piece of public legislation.
That shit was on Facebook.
Yeah, anything the Emperor says, if he believes it, becomes law in the Empire. They like rewrote the entire law code that if he says it, it is now law. And he sent out this proclamation, so it is now law. If a department, if any department does not fulfill a reasonable request, then they can get in big trouble. Now, obviously, reasonability is where the debate will come down to, but literally no department wants to be on the bad side of the Emperor. There is 0 advantage to do that, so if you're actually being reasonable, then you should be fine. Anyways, Department of Magic, yippee, yippee, yippee!
Yay, finally.
Yeah, you guys make your way to the Department of Magic. When you finally get into the actual armory room, because last time you met with a measly clerk who couldn't actually sell you anything. This time, though, you go to the actual storage room. You are allowed to walk along shelves, and you see about a quarter of the stock is missing, and there are still about 10 other judges and inquisitors milling about, picking up items, thinking about whether they want to purchase them outright.
I am looking right for flying boots.
Flying boots. There are no flying boots on sale. That is a very specific item.
What's some good studded leather armor I could find?
There is not studded leather, but there is leather.
What is it? What does it do?
There is a set of let me find it. Oh, this is a weird one. There's a set of Wear Raven leather, and it is +3 leather armor.
+3.
Plus
what is-
3.
What is leather armor normally?
I don't
It's
know. You need to go do that math.
11.
Rather
11.
regular
So
armor.
this is
11
14
plus-
plus Dex mod.
11 plus Dex,
14
yeah.
plus that. So that's 19. So that's better than my current armor actually.
Well, there you go.
Um,
How
is
much?
there anything that increases my dex?
You said there might be
there
boots.
were indeed boots. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to pick those up.
Were?
What's your current dex score?
20.
Okay, roll a d2.
I don't think they're gonna help you
Explode.
at all. Unless they're +2. I feel like they're like the set your
It
dex
reduces
to.
by 2.
Ooh.
Pause champ.
Point.
We're waiting for him to roll. Okay,
Okay.
so a 1 means that they've already been bought by another judge.
So nothing that increases dex?
Nope.
Anything that increases any stats?
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh shit,
Which-
is there something that increases charisma?
Which stats?
Nope. There is Gauntlets of Ogre Power.
Ooh.
There
What are the
is Belt of Hail Vitality, which I believe is... I think you already have one of those in your party.
Is it Zednius?
Oh, no,
I
sorry,
don't
it's a
have
Ring
that.
of
I
Hail
have,
Vitality. And yes, somebody
no.
in the... Zednius, you do
I don't have
one.
the ring of. I have a ring of growing. that
Who the fuck has the
increases.
Ring of Hail Vitality, then?
Hey, why are you like all chatted then?
Yeah.
I'm
why are
chatted
you-
because of the ring of growing. The ring of growing does that.
What?
Ah.
Maybe that's what it's called. I don't know. I have.
I think
magic
it is called a Ring of Hail
Maybe
Vitality.
I wrote it wrong.
I do.
Okay,
I think you
I
wrote it down
wrong.
for what the effect it had, not for its actual name.
And what does that do, Alex? Like mechanically?
The Ring of Hail Vitality decreases your intelligence by 4, gains you 2 strength and 4 constitution, gives a foot to your height, and your weight increases by 100 pounds.
Wait, so Zednius is just like kind of stupid now?
No, he's not stupid. He's just stupider.
It was -4 in.
What would that do to
Yep.
me? Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Fuck.
I didn't have 4.
Oh, okay.
That's
Well,
Now I am a little bit stupid.
start
Yeah.
salivating and stop
just a
speaking.
little bit.
Did you say -4?
Yeah, -4
Yeah.
intelligence.
Fuck. Oh my! But it'd be so good.
But you'd actually be like a babbling buffoon.
And by the way, if your ink gets 6 or lower, we're gonna have talks about like the sentience of your character. So,
It would go to 6.
brother, that is a dog intelligence.
Morgren had 6 int for a
I know
while.
he is a dog intelligence.
But it's also a ring. I can put it on and take it off.
What will you? You have a dog
The
intelligence.
issue of doing that is that you don't regain the con hit points you gain when you leave it on.
It's true.
Like if you take it off, you lose all those extra hit points, and then you put it back on, you're down like 20 hit points.
It's also true. It's as a percentage of your max HP, so you literally lose life when you take the ring off.
Fuck. If only I had one more int,
Yeah, well,
it wouldn't be so bad.
dog gang,
Are there
dog
any
gang, dog gang.
finesse weapons?
Like,
This is where you need to start like fucking mixing your medicines. You gotta like down some fucking intelligence pills and then wash it down with a ring of hail vitality.
because I'd be how much do you gain on your weight? Did you say?
100 pounds.
I think it's a hundo.
I would be 7'1", 328 pounds.
Yeah, that's about right. That's almost as big as the other guy who wielded the hammers before he enlarged.
And I would imagine all of my armor would have to get resized and shit.
Yeah, I mean, you would literally like Hulk out of your armor. Honestly, this is the more you describe it, the more miserable this sounds. You're having that like Andre the Giant voice, where like your voice is all like breathy and shit because you're too fucking.
Would I have
You
to?
can't
Would I
get
have to
Dante
pay
more?
for more mithril to do
Yes. You're resizing every weapon and armor that you own.
You need a second set of armor.
Also, you'd be doing that to Mickey, you
Or
sick
you-
fuck.
Oh my god, Mickey.
that? Mickey has a.
I'm not
Carrying
saying he can't
capacity
do
of
it. I'm just saying, why
480
would you
pounds.
increase it on him? Just fucked
He's
up,
already
man.
got the mithril on.
I'd have to take a bunch of shit off. All right, how about that other shit I was looking at then?
The +2 set of armor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's enchanted. It's like materially, it is a shitty ancient piece of iron armor, but because it's enchanted, it is +2 plate.
Huh.
Would you like to know the raw purchase price of it?
Sure.
No.
No. He's gonna spend all the money on it.
Let me go look.
Sure. Hit me
So
with
just to remind ourselves of some things, normal plate armor costs 250 gold. Mithril plate armor costs well, technically it costs way more now, but when you bought it, it costed 3,200. No, that can't be right.
it. That can't be right. I think that was like Mickey's cost.
Oh, it's because it's halfway. It's because it's halfway because it's mithril.
Yep.
Yeah, so a mithril suit of plate armor costs 1,600 gold. For a +2 set of plate armor, the price will be 3,000 gold.
Oh.
How much gold do we have?
Well,
What is
none.
this? What is this we? What is this we nonsense?
Yeah, the answer for we is none. Because the party has
How
no
much gold
collective
do
money.
you have?
19,000.
Jesus
Excuse
Christ.
me?
He has
Yeah,
19,000.
19,000.
Are you sure you got the number of zeros correctly?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, honestly,
Yes.
you should be thanking him because you literally
Yes.
transcribed the spell that he acquired for the Empire. So
I did. Yes.
yeah,
I did,
he got the teleport scroll that you literally like it would be the same one. They don't have many of them. They're very rare.
Who all did you split with besides Rixion?
Just
I thought there were
Rixion. He
other
didn't give it to
people.
anyone else.
Just Rixion. All the,
The
rest
only
of
one
you
that I
know
asked.
about it.
The
Yeah,
only one that was like,
literally.
I'm
yes,
gonna ask.
yes,
take a
correct.
contract.
The only one who asked. Yeah, correct.
Are there any finesse weapons?
How
Finesse.
about that? Okay, yeah, I'll let Blake go.
You count ammo as finesse? Do you mean?
I mean, like rapiers.
I know what you mean.
Stuff.
No.
I see.
No, there's lots of one-handed weapons. They're just not specifically finesse weapons.
Okay, I'm gonna assume that stuff like this would already be gone. But is there anything that helps spellcasters, like braces of armor or whatever?
Actually, one of the most common magical item in the entire Empire is bracers of. I think it's called the bracers of the
The
War Mage.
defense.
No. War Mage's bracelet. bracer of the.
What's that do?
Do you have any stroke?
I kind of am, yeah. I know
Brace-
I
brace
know
is
exactly
war-
what item I'm
braces
thinking
war?
of. No, let me go find it. I can't find it, but I know what the stat line does, and I'm pretty sure I know the name. So it's like battle mages, war mages, bracers. They're magical bracers that give you advantage on Constitution saving throws. The reason why they're so common is because the Empire made them. Like this is an Empire original, which is very rare. Almost no magical items are made nowadays, but some are. Bracers of the War Mage. That sounds right. I think that's what I called it. Anyways, they give you advantage on con saves.
How much?
Con saves for concentration or just all con
Just
saves?
concentration. Yeah, just for spell concentration.
How much did they cost?
1,500 gold.
What?
What do you mean?
They're the most common thing. They cost 1,500 gold.
Yep. Spellcasters are rich, dude. You can afford it.
What kind of cloaks do we got going? I don't have a good cloak yet.
That's a great question. What type of cloaks do we have got going on? Cloak. There's a single cloak. A singular cloak.
Oh,
It is a cloak of useful items. Sorry, robe. Yeah, cloak of useful items.
okay.
Anything that increases intelligence by chance?
Nope.
Damn it.
Any charisma?
Nope. I think Blake asked that already.
What is
Oh,
the one-handed weapons? Is there?
There's a sickle. There's a rope. Sorry, a net, not a rope. A net.
Can you use a dagger, Primius? Do you like those?
I mean, I could, but it would depend on what the dagger does.
Blake, don't you have like a chatted sword already?
Plus
Only
Yeah,
one?
but
Is it plus
I'm a
3?
dual wielder.
Plus 2?
Oh, that's right.
How much is Elven? Is it plus 2?
-2.
Elven is +3.
Plus 3. Okay.
So, is there like a longsword of some kind, or is it just
No.
like a rope, a net, and a?
There is a rope, a net, a sickle, a mace. Also, I think longsword. I think longswords are finesse. Either way, it doesn't matter. The point is, there's no longswords. There's no normal weapons. All the normal weapons are gone already.
Long
does the
swords are
sickle do?
versatile.
The sickle is. It is
Are you proficient?
the sickle
with
is a
that?
sickle of sacrifice.
Oh.
It has no pluses to it, but when you sacrifice a creature to it, you gain a bonus to your attacks until the end of your long rest.
Oh, hey. What do the rings they have left? What do they do?
Well,
Wait,
they have a
wait,
ring of
wait.
Hail Vitality.
Hold
Yeah.
on. Is there a
You
limit
do-
to that
you do.
sacrificing?
Yeah, you
what-
can only do it
how
once
large
per
does the
long
creature
rest,
need to be?
and it can be any creature.
Oh wait, only once per long rest? Oh, I thought
Yep.
we can like get 100 rats.
No, unfortunately not. Yeah, there's one ring on. Sorry, there are multiple rings, but one of the rings on sale is a ring of Hail Vitality. I assume you want more than that.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a ring of Spell Storing.
Nice. That's pretty
How
big.
much?
15,000 gold.
That's almost all.
Yeah,
of
sorry,
our-
bud. That's even that's outside of our price point.
Not quite, but
Well-
I will say you do see a particularly opulent Inquisitor kind of looking at the ring, contemplating it.
how is everybody
Steal
so
15
rich?
grand.
What do you mean? You're fucking judges and
No,
Inquisitors of the Empire.
Maximus is.
I'm just saying, you guys are in a bad position if you're poor. How the fuck are you poor? You don't have to follow Imperial law. You can do whatever the fuck you want. You can blackmail anyone that's lower than the rank of a Praetor. I'm
Because
just saying.
Primius would wag his
It's
finger
true.
at
It's
us if
true.
we did
That is
a
why
bunch
you
of
guys are all
illegal
poor. You should blame
Is,
Praetor.
Is there a ring of protection?
No, those are no. There is not a ring of protection,
Is there
unfortunately.
anything that gives resistance to
That's-
fire?
I think there is. Yeah,
stuff. I thought it wasn't fire he was spitting. It was like
it's
was
not
hotter
fire.
than fire,
Yeah.
right?
It is hotter than fire, yeah. Actually, there is indeed. There is a red dragon leather armor.
Hmm.
Now, it's not very good. It is +1 leather armor, but it does give resistance to fire.
Scrolls, potions.
Scrolls, yeah, those are. I mean, those are the same as when you last came here. They're all price fixed. Potions are actually probably the cheapest thing sold in the entire Department of Magic. Now they don't sell healing potions. because that's illegal. That has to be sold by the Department of Faith. There is a very strongly worded edict from the Emperor many years ago about that. But everything other than healing can probably be bought from the Department of Magic, or at the bare minimum, it can be commissioned.
So elixirs of fire immunity.
Yeah, I mean, it'll just the price will scale based on the rarity. So let me go see. Yeah, potion of resistance. Potions of resistance aren't even that rare. Now, immunity, that would be very difficult, but resistance is actually relatively cheap.
Okay, but how about immunity?
They don't currently have any of those. You'd have to commission it, which means they'd have to go find a legendary reagent. So they'd probably have to go to Western Valros, find a red dragon, you know, all the whole
but like,
quest.
They said it was hotter than fire.
Yeah.
So would fire immunity do anything here?
Who knows? This is what research is for.
That's a good point.
Who knows? Maybe it's fucking radiant.
How about that great sword, the lifesteal one?
Unfortunately, roll a D2.
Oh, the classic.
no.
If it's still there,
Alright,
you're pogging out.
All I have to
Well,
do is
depends on the
not
price.
get a.
It's already gonna be 15 billion gold.
Okay, I have to type this, and it's gonna be real slow. Alex, can you just roll it for me?
Sure.
It's
Thank
gonna
you.
be
Do you want a 1 or a 2?
18,999.
Let's go with a 2. You
It
hate
got
to see
sold.
it. How you said the armor was 3,000?
You're
All right, we're AC maxing.
alrighty. You buy a suit of enchanted
What's
iron
your
armor.
AC at now?
Hebida,
That's a
hebida,
+1,
hebida.
right?
Yeah, it's just a +1.
You said it was. You said
Well, it's
you said it
+1
was
for
plus-
you because you had
Yeah,
a
it's
+1
+2,
already.
and your current one is +1. So
Yeah.
25.
Yeah. Also, it does weigh as much as normal plate because it's not mithril. So it'll weigh
any
Oh,
magic?
yeah. Speaking of which, the ogre glove gauntlet things.
Yeah, those actually are going for 8,000.
Holy fuck! What do they increase your strength to?
18.
Is that what +1 modifier for you, or
No,
even
it's actually
not even
down. It would
No,
decrease
that
his
would be a
strength.
that would be a -1.
on?
And these are going for 5,000 gold,
8,000.
or 8,000 gold, huh?
anything that
the
increases
only
your age
strength character in the
Hey
party.
man, that ring is looking. That ring.
Increases your what, Heckle?
That.
intelligence.
No.
Yeah. I
What
already asked
about
that.
what kind of shields are we looking at here?
That's a
Oh,
great
that's a good
question.
question,
Let me
actually,
drag
yes.
Ethan's thing over to his sheet, and then I will do that.
Because me and
That's
you, Maximus,
Okay.
both use a shield.
There you go, Ethan. There is your
Yep.
enchanted iron. Ah! He went to his bio sheet. I hate him. I hate him. I hate him. Okay. Enchanted iron armor has been added to your sheet.
It broke the AC.
I know. You'll just have to unequip one of the items. You'll figure out which one.
Yeah. I know which one.
Do you? Okay. Shields.
Yeah, I
Shields.
did
Shields. There is a singular shield. It is a shield. Oh, where the fuck is it? Okay, well, I found it, but it doesn't include the description, so let me go look up what this one does. Oh, it's this one. There's a sentinel shield, which is a semi-sentient, oh my god, this is actually a crazy tongue twister. A sentinel shield is a semi-sentient shield, which will wake you up in the event of intruders.
Flame.
Oh, I have a thing that does that already.
Yeah,
I
you have a
imagine
thing
so.
of alarm. So yeah.
The other rings do. We haven't gone through all of them.
I don't believe we have. So there's Ring of Spell Storing, Ring of Hail Vitality. There is a Ring of...
Mind shielding.
No, definitely not one of those. There's a Ring of Jumping. And lastly, there is a Ring of Warmth.
What does that one do?
Ooh.
A Ring of Warmth makes you warm when you would be cold.
I
Yeah.
see.
I think that is
I
the
assume
opposite of the problem we
I
are
assume
about
it's
to
like a
have.
thing. It's like the thing you get it for free on top when you buy anything else
Nope.
because it's so useless.
Nope. Costs
Is it?
That's
in-
like
hundreds
that's
of
like the
gold.
cosmetic level of items.
No.
Is there an arcane quill?
In
There is not an Arcane Quill, no.
Dang,
in
it
D
was
and D,
already
it's
bought.
cosmetic, but in actual like real life situations, it would be way more
Yeah,
useful.
I
It's
know.
true. And it's not
Um,
cosmetic. You guys just haven't been to cold places. Fuck you. Yeah.
There's no penalty. There's
What
no
about
penalty.
There is
Are there
penalties.
any other kind of boots going on?
There are some boots.
Trying
Yeah.
to think of what magic items.
Yeah. No.
slots
Yeah.
on
There
my
is a
body I
pair of
don't have
boots. Yeah.
filled
There's a pair of boots which
Well,
gives you.
is there no attunement in your world?
No. Sorry. There is attunement. It's just not limited.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
There are boots. There are even dexterity boots. But it sets your dexterity to a fixed number.
Wait, but those were sold earlier. Premier's rolled for that, right?
Oh, he
No,
did?
that was-
Okay. He did already. You're right. He did roll for those. Thank you, Echo.
Mm.
My notes were not
Oh,
properly
yeah,
kept.
Can't let you get away with that.
No, there's only
And
one.
the
There's only
belt
one.
was only a constitution belt.
The ring. Wait. Oh yeah, the
Belt?
Constitution belt. Yeah. No.
Wait, what's
You're
the
fucking me.
belt?
No, it wasn't a belt. I misspoke when I said it was a belt.
Oh,
It was a
sorry.
ring, and it was
Pale
the ring of
Vitality
vitality.
ring.
Yeah. Okay. There we go.
Oh, I thought there was a.
No. I said
Any
belt originally, but I
circlets?
misspoke. Any
Like any
circlets?
diadems, circlets, crowns,
Oh no, there are.
amulets.
Yes,
Who wants a choker?
there is a necklace. Yeah. Dude, Corus
What's
would
it
look
do?
so cute with a choker.
Big facts.
Magic items be like, it's a
Shout out
confetti.
Rush wearing a
Even
choker.
saying big facts there is so
Giant
fucking
trophy.
funny. Oh
just-
man, that's funny.
This one puts you into a latex suit.
There are 2 amulets being sold. One of
It
which
is
can only
8,000 gold.
one of which can only attune to warlocks. The other of
Oh,
which
To do.
What's
we'll
it
get
do?
there. We'll get there. Chill. The other which can only and the other amulet can only attune to clerics or paladins.
Anything specifically
Oh,
for
we
wizards
got a
in general,
paladin.
by the way?
Anything specific for wizards in general. Yes, they will sell you. Are you ready for this?
Arcane ink.
No. Not
Fuck
just
off.
any arcane ink. Arcane ink, but it's red.
Okay, fuck off.
It's like you're
I hate
creating
this
a
guy. I
choker.
fucking hate this guy, man.
Alex, you are the funniest person to exist.
These clerks are.
Yeah, there is also something specifically for sorcerers. There's also something
cool.
specifically for artificers. I know that all these are really relevant to you as a wizard, so I just wanted to inform you about them.
Thanks.
He's about to level up. Let him take
There's
on
also
level
something
one,
specifically
whatever
for me,
class
your
is.
mom. Let's tease that.
There is also some things for bards as well.
Anything for druids and clerics? We haven't gotten to that one yet.
No druids, yes clerics.
What about blood hunters?
No blood hunters in the Empire. Actually, there are blood hunters at the Manway Fareem, but no items for them.
Rangers,
No rangers, though. They're those.
pugilist.
monks.
There is actually a pugilist, but yeah,
I'm
there's a
gonna-
monk item. Despite there being no
I'm gonna
monks in the
find
world, there
you.
is a monk item.
Just to spite us.
yeah, just to
The most
spite
useless
you.
magical item ever.
Okay, there is an item that may appeal to you, Heko.
Okay.
This item comes with an attached card to it, which says you must report to the Department of Faith and get permission from them to purchase this item. Okay?
Okay.
It smells faintly of sulfur. It is a
That's
black
good.
cloak with a red interior lining, and the description
great.
that is listed on the note card is it will give you the ability to cast Dimension Door while wearing it once per day.
How much?
Again, you need to go get. There's not a price listed because you need to go get permission from the Department of Faith first.
Oh,
What kind of magic is it?
It's divine magic, in a manner of speaking.
it's a fucking demon cloak.
Anyways, earlier, Yogi, you asked me
Wait,
about
does
the
does
warlock.
does
Yeah.
Hetman Ariel recognize it if I touch him? Can he see it?
You can
When we
touch
went?
him, and immediately he will say, "There's a fist of us when we begin eating."
Look at just this thing over here. Do you know what this is?
That's the ring. It looks delightful.
No, this cloak.
Okay, what about it?
Was it a cloak? Okay, I'm gonna just take my hand off him. I don't care.
Dude, Ted
Hang
Mineral
up the
so
phone.
venom coated. He's so.
Yeah.
He just wants magic, bro. Anyways, Yogi, to answer your question earlier about the specific warlock item. Are you ready for its ability? It's pretty crazy.
I'm ready. I'm
It
hype.
lets you know a cantrip that you don't know.
Hype.
Oh,
And
it's
you have
that
to make
piece
an
of
intelligence
What's the
check every
cantrip?
time you use it.
I have a low intelligence right now.
No way.
What is the?
So it's any cantrip I don't know?
Knee
Or
cantrip,
a
correct. For other
specific
classes
one?
as well.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I don't know.
What about a potion
any
of
of those are even that
respecking?
good.
Smile.
There is actually a potion called what is it called? There's a potion of dementia.
Min-Maxer's Delight.
No, it does. It gives you dementia. I'm not even joking. It just wipes your memory. That is its full ability.
Is that
dementia?
is that potion of
It's meant to be a poison, but I guess you could just drink it if you want.
What's the right? You just
fuck it,
lose
I'm
like
old,
all
might
your
as well have
skills.
dementia.
And...
You lose everything. You're just no one. You're just an empty vessel.
based?
What does the paladin necklace do?
Yeah, the paladin necklace is essentially a magical holy symbol. Now again, with this one, you do need to get permission from the Department of Faith to purchase it. But it would give you +1 on all spell checks and DCs and stuff.
That I make or enemies make against me?
It's a +1 spell.
No, it's a +1 spellcasting focus. Why would they give you bonus to people attacking you?
Does the cantrip ring let you do non-warlock cantrips?
Yes.
This maybe we should think about it.
Depends how much it is, really.
Yeah,
It's
we should
only
see,
50
I wanna see
GP
the
because
cost.
it's contingent on being
Only
a warlock.
50?
Yeah, it's contingent on
Oh,
both being
I
a
can
warlock.
just buy it. I'm buying
Yeah,
it actually.
okay, great.
Yeah.
You just buy it.
Yeah,
Then.
like,
You can
that's
add
what I
a
bought.
dark shard amulet to your sheet.
What is the
Huge.
price on? Oh well, yeah, you'd have to get permission from the
Exactly,
Department of Faith.
permission from the Department of Faith. You know all about it.
Well, how much is the leather armor I picked up?
The +3,
Mm-hmm.
that is 3,000 GP.
Pretty please.
But
Sorry, what was it?
He wants 3,000 GP from you.
Yeah, for what?
Armor.
+3 leather armor.
It gives him +1 AC.
I just spent 3,000 gold to get myself +1 AC. I don't
Yeah,
see
but he's
why I
not you.
can't do that.
wait. Before you do this, think about the Ring of Spell Stirring.
Yeah, you're funny.
No, I'm not trolling. The Ring of Spell Stirring is like actually worth that much. You have any idea how broken that shit is?
He doesn't, is the answer.
Okay,
That's-
it's actually worth that much. I'm not fucking with you.
Okay, then explain.
So yeah, I get that. Unfortunately, there is an exactly 0% chance Maximus would ever do that. Like, he wants some money left over.
I have like 700 gold. I can, contribute.
Time to sell that butthole.
That's all my money.
All right, Alex, Alex,
Fuck!
you
I wish I
remember
still
when
had
I
that
said
bank account worth billions.
you remember when I said you were the funniest person?
Yeah.
I lied. Heck,
It's
it was.
Echo. It's Echo.
It always has been.
I mean, Blake, don't you have access to your trust fund? You could start burning through some of your trust fund money.
Oh,
have
yeah.
to-
Wait a minute. You're like
I have-
infinitely wealthier than I am.
Not really.
No, his
you
comes
have-
in monthly installments.
Yeah. And I have $235 left, or gold left.
How much do you get a month?
Oh wait, the month reset. You should be
1,000.
back at your total.
Oh shit. Well, now I have a 1,200 gold.
Also, I'm just gonna say this, Ethan, he gets 1,000 gold for the rest of his life. Don't give this guy a single fucking penny. Fuck that guy.
So
like
when
my
I said
son
you are far
with
richer
the
than
dragon.
any of us, and then you said actually no, you forgot to include the $1 million a month you get.
It's just a small loan,
You over the course of 2 months.
Silence.
Well,
I'm
there is
paying
another
you
magical
back.
item.
Okay.
There is
all
another
right,
magical
so,
item I'd like to mention.
I am guaranteeing you your money back in 2 months.
yeah. I was gonna
guys.
pay
Send
for
me
the
your
rest.
money right now, and
as long
I'll
as that
double
was
it in
the-
crypto.
I'm a prince of Nigeria.
Yes.
I'm a Mithosian prince. I will double your money.
Blake, I will agree to that so long as we can go to a barrister and sign a contract to that effect.
Based.
Oh,
Based.
Or
There is another magical item I'd like to mention. It is a mug for alcohol, and it has the effect of neutralizing all
Oh.
poisons within it.
Oh, so
Oh.
so the alcohol becomes non-alcoholic.
It's true. The alcohol does become not,
Oh, not worth it.
but it's really cheap.
Hey,
Not worth
any
it.
decks of many things, maybe? Smile.
There is actually a deck of cards on sale.
Oh, what's it? What is it?
It is a deck of illusions.
You know what? That's how many cards are left?
There is. Roll me a d34.
1.
I mean, the past 2 rolls have been a 1.
That's how
11.
math works. 11. All right, there are 11 cards remaining in the deck.
How much?
Well, obviously they're going to price it based on what's left in the deck. The Department of Magic may be psychotic, but they're not that psychotic. So let me go see what cards would be left if there was only 11. Oh, wow. That is... Okay, that's 2 really good illusions to have. So it would be... I mean, they just want to fuck you. But they also want to sell it. But also, that's a really good illusion. I mean, Jesus Christ. It's an uncommon,
Which
though.
ones?
It's only uncommon. It's like it's like a 1,000 gold angle.
Okay, but like, what illusions are left?
Red Dragon, Knight and 4 guards, Succubus or Incubus, Druid, Cloud Giant, Etten, Bugbear, Goblin, Beholder, and Archmage.
That's actually all not that bad, but not for 1,000 gold.
It is quite good, actually, having a dragon when you're going into a fucking dragon mountain. Yeah, it's quite a useful thing to
Well,
have.
except it's not a real dragon; it just looks like a
Well,
dragon.
yeah, it's an
Could you
illusionary
imagine-
dragon.
Could you imagine being at the Deck of Illusions unboxing? That would go so hard.
Yeah, you're flipping through your booster pack. Holy fuck, I got a holographic red dragon.
Oh my god, it's a red dragon! Red dragon! I'm shaking, I'm literally shaking!
Yeah, it's
I literally just shit
condition.
myself.
PSA 10 red dragon.
Disappears after 1 use.
This wizard
Fuck.
spoke in perfect draconic. Watch this dragon's reaction.
Dragons
Well,
hate him using these simple illusions.
Any
So
Spears of
true.
Annihilation smell?
Oh, yeah, actually, there is an orb that you can ponder if you like.
What's it do?
There's a crystal
Is
ball.
it an
Oh, it's
oh? I wish you had just told me it was an orb of pondering.
No, I'm sorry.
That would
Well,
be
I mean,
any
you could make a
wands
crystal
or
ball and orb of
staves?
pondering. There is wands. There's no staves, though. Wands are actually like kind of dime a dozen.
Okay.
Because
What's
wands
this-
Hit
wands
me.
can be created by modern spellcasters. Like they just can. They're just makeable because they're limited. There is a wand of fear. There is a wand of magic detection. There is a wand of polymorph. There is a wand of magic missiles.
Okay, polymorph. How much?
Let me just go see. Well,
That's
we'll
the
roll,
expensive
well,
one.
we'll roll for how many charges are left on it. Because obviously.
Oh,
that's
does it
gonna
not
impact-
recharge?
No, that's why they're cheap.
Oh.
Yeah, no modern wands can recharge because they don't know how to make them anymore.
Fuck! Any unmodern ones?
Yeah,
Any priceless
there
artifacts?
is, but like, I mean,
Yeah.
why are we even? You're poor.
Yeah.
Any
You don't need to look at that shelf. You can't afford it,
Yeah,
okay?
literally.
You
I'm
need to be
keeping you
this
away
tall
from
to
the
ride.
handbags in the Gucci store.
Yeah. To pull out the Amex Black, or you can walk away.
Real shit. What were you saying, Yogi?
any breastplate type beat?
Let me go see. I was looking at medium and
I
heavy
have,
armor earlier, but I think they're-
Yeah, it's a medium.
it is a medium. Yeah, I know. Let me go see. There is
I have
indeed
a-
a red metal breastplate.
Oh,
Ooh.
price.
So red metal is not actually magical in the traditional sense. It's only magical in the material sense. The only reason it's here is because of how it was recovered, which was from a tomb. So it would actually be priced based on the current market price of red metal in Mithdosica, which let me go look up. I'm going to tell you, it's probably going to be a lot. How much do breastplates weigh?
I can.
My mithril one weighs.
It's going to
yeah,
weigh
there you
double
go.
whatever. Okay, wait, they weigh
10.
20 pounds. Yeah, they weigh 20 pounds. All right.
Okay.
So it's going to be the going rate of red metal, which is this number, times the weight of the breastplate. It is 3,600 gold.
Wait, you have a mithril breastplate already?
It does indeed.
Yeah,
Red metal is also +1, isn't it?
No, it is plus
it's
2.
+2, so I will get a +1 for 3,600.
Okay. You buy
Pretty
that?
please, Maximus.
Oh, you're begging.
I thought he gave you a bunch of money.
no.
he gave
Maximus-
Rixion money, not me.
It's true.
Not
It's true.
Zednius.
Rixion and Zednius are different human beings. If only he could tap into Rixion's newly acquired millions, because you know Rixion's spending that on charity immediately.
Yep.
Very
Oh,
millennial.
I
Yes,
mean,
surely,
like he
yes.
sat down with Granny and was like, Granny, I will give you billions of
Oh.
dollars. That was like
Yeah.
last session.
Yeah, I'm
The-
sure it's
But
like
why?
yeah, but also
The-
for her, billions is like $10.
The ultra long con.
You buy a ring of spellstorming?
No.
Oh.
No.
Yes, Zednius. You
Yes.
yes.
What can you buy with this ring of
Wait.
spellstorming anyway?
How much are you giving him for this? 3,000.
3,600.
Jesus. Do I get
Okay.
some allowance,
Um,
Dad?
You haven't asked for anything
You
that's
only need
reasonably
plus one
priced yet.
AC. Only-
Any
Add it to your
robes?
sheet, Yogi. Add the red metal breastplate to your sheet, and I will
Red
subtract
metal
it from the shop.
breastplate.
Red metal
And
breastplate
Blake,
plus 2 AC.
Blake, I said we had to go to the barrister afterwards, and you said, but
I
how
said
about we
yes.
instead? And then you go, oh, okay. I thought.
I said
alright,
yes.
Never mind.
Okay, yeah, actually, there's 2 cutaways we need to do, so we'll start with that. The 2 of you guys walk over to a barrister. The 2 of you will sign a contract in good legal tender. You, of course, Maximus, make sure that if he cannot pay his debts, then the royal family is forced to pay. Sorry, the imperial family has to pay them, because this motherfucker is broke. All his money comes from his trust, but that's okay. I mean, he'll sign that. And then you can add, Blake, a Were Raven leather armor to your sheet.
And
Why is
Blake,
it called a were raven? Does that
Because
mean
it
I
is
turn into a
no,
raven?
because it was the skin of a Were Raven.
Oh,
Blake, how much money do you need for that?
just 2,000.
Okay.
Okay. All right. The other cutaway we need to do is Corvus. Corvus, that black cloak with its red lining has been drawing you all this time. You know, as other judges and inquisitors have slipped in, as the stock disappears from the shelves, everyone steers clear of the Cape of Montbank because no one wants to go talk to the Department of Faith. I mean, how do you even begin that conversation and say, "Hey, can I buy the demon item?" Like, how? But do you want to go for it? Do you want to go approach the Department of Faith?
I'm
Yeah.
gonna approach the Department of Faith about the the holy symbol as well.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask if I can tag along with him because he has glowing eyes and is one of the imperial family, so maybe he can give my words some weight.
Yeah.
Okay, the 2 of you guys walk into the Great Department of Faith, the largest Department of Faith building in the entire empire. You've both been in it many times because it used to be the office building for the Department of Judges. But today you are not bound for that. You're bound for the bureaucratic wing, which I don't think these 2 characters have ever been to before. Obviously, the party's been here. This is where the Crunfundues incident happened, but I don't think the rest of you have been. These 2 characters have been there. So, you make your way to a clerk. You inform them you wish to request a magical item that is currently on loan to the Department of Magic. They say okay, and then they shuttle you to a different office. Shuttles you to a different office. Shuttles you to a shrine with a stained glass panel of the Department of the Aurelian Soul, and then it finally shuttles you to the office of the Magical Licensure Office of the Department of Faith. And you find yourself sitting across from a man in his 30s. He's bald. He has a goatee. And he looks at the ledger and looks at the 2 judges sitting before him. And he looks tired. He's probably had to deal with some other judges today just based on his vibe. And he says, "All right, what item are we requesting?"
The necklace and the cloak.
Can you be more specific, please?
The Cape of the Mountebank.
Okay. And then what's this necklace?
What was the name?
Just describe it to me.
It was the holy symbol that was only allowed for clerics and paladins, and
All right. And you say it's here in the capital, I assume, at the Department of Magic building here.
that is correct.
All right. Amulet of the Divine. All right. Well, are you both jointly requesting each of these items or individually requesting one or the other?
Individually requesting one or the other.
All right. Which of you is requesting the Amulet of the Divine?
That would be me.
All right. He reaches into his drawer, opens up a drawer, pulls out a piece of paper, signs it at the top, hands it over to you. It is a 15-part questionnaire.
Okay. What are the questions on it?
First, your name.
Yeah, I'll sign that.
Second question. Do you love and hold the Emperor as the highest god?
Oh, no, yes.
Are you a
Yes.
terrorist?
All right. Do you have at least 3 members of the Department of Faith who can vouch for your piety?
I don't think so, actually. Because I have Father Hyperion, Father Rixion.
Father Rixion's not a part of the Department of Faith.
Oh, shit. Father Hyperion.
Do you know the mother woman? I forgot her name.
I think he
Bolsia?
does.
Mother
No.
Dosia.
I think the clerk kind of notices you stumbling on like the third question, and he says, "Seems like it isn't going to work, does it?
I guess not. I apologize.
Waste of paper."
Well,
And
Being
he
the Emperor.
grabs the paper
did-
and kind of crumples it up and tosses it into a bin.
Wait. Premiers, maybe you should mention your name. Your family might be able to vouch for you.
I don't normally like doing that. And also,
I
don't
think in
it
this
would work.
case, it's probably wise.
I'm not gonna. Oh no.
Am I gonna have to do it for you?
You can if you want to. I don't know if it'll change anything.
He's of the Perusian family.
Oh,
Does that change anything?
if he can get a notice from the Emperor that he can have access to the item, that would, of course, override us.
But
Oh man, dude, I hate asking the Emperor for things.
You talking about him like he's your uncle or something is so funny. Dude, I fucking hate begging the Emperor
hate
for
having
money,
to borrow
dude.
his car.
Yeah, exactly.
you always
Fuck,
have me to
that's
top up the
so
tank, but I only use like
funny,
1%.
dude. That's so funny, dude. Yeah, if you get Imperial prerogative applies here, so if you get the Emperor to give you access to the item, of course you can have it.
I don't know if it's that deep.
Maybe you can just will a new item into existence. That's
Well,
way
the
better.
clerk will
that
look
point.
at Corvus and say, "All right, well, you're requesting the Cape of the Mountebank, right?
Correct.
All right. Look at this," and he'll reach into the drawer, withdraw another thing. It is a similar pamphlet. He signs it at the top. The first question is, "What is your name?"
Mm-hmm.
Do you
Continue.
answer it?
Well, yeah, of course.
All right. Second line. Do you hold the God Emperor of the fuck? I'm having a stroke. Divine Emperor as your one and only God?
Of course.
All right. Third question. Do you have 3 people in the Department of Faith that can vouch for you?
Does Premiers count?
No,
Nope.
he's not in the.
Do I have connections to the? Let me check.
You should. If you have like some character from your backstory, this is the time to bring him up.
Coin, and he's no longer there. No, dead. No. Okay, hypothetically, is it like feasible to bribe people to pretend they're cool with that?
I'm not. Don't.
Well,
I'm not
since
even
you're
saying-
obviously
I'm
not,
not
yeah,
saying
you're
out
obviously
loud.
not
I'm not
proposing
saying
this in
this
front of a government
No,
official.
of
I mean,
course,
that
of course,
would be
I'm not-
insane.
I'm not suicidal.
So, to answer your question, out of character, in most cases in the Empire, yes, coins can grease people's pockets. In this particular instance, you specifically are trying to acquire a demon cloak, so probably not.
So, I don't think so.
Well, he will take the form, he will crumple it up and toss it into the bin.
Does the Department of Faith have anything for sale?
Not.
We can't
no,
sell magical
actually-
items in that fashion.
Yeah, I'm just gonna walk away.
All right, you return to the Department of Magic, dejected.
Cuck. No, sorry. Have you used
So,
your entire life to suck off every member of the Department of Faith? No, we don't get to buy this for 2 billion euros.
That was actually the fourth question in the questionnaire. The fourth question was, have you sucked off every member of the Department? Okay.
The fifth one was, did you swallow?
Jesus Christ.
The sixth one was, did you say thank you?
Jesus Christ.
Just continues.
So, anyways, do we want to buy anything else?
I had a list of spells.
Oh, okay. Spell
Wait,
scrolls.
Maximus.
Yes.
I have a reasonable one.
Oh, you do? Oh, okay.
Yeah, the braces of defense of war mage thingy.
Oh, yeah. How much? Those were like 1,000, right?
1,500. I can realistically, I've close to 800. I can probably pitch in as much as you need me to.
Nah, man. I bought like 3,600 and 2,000 for the other 2 people. So.
When are you guys gonna buy Granny or something?
Is she
Well, I
here
was
for
I was I was
We can
getting
buy
to
an
that.
ice cream on the way back home.
Not to worry, I considered this, Alex.
3,000 gold ice cream.
Wait,
I
wait.
considered this.
The ring
Okay.
of warmth?
I'm about to hand over like 8 gold bars.
So are we buying the whatever you were buying? What are you buying?
Races of the War Mage?
Oh,
What did they
okay.
do again exactly?
They give you advantage on concentration
Oh, right,
checks.
right.
Yeah.
Right,
I believe
yeah,
I already have that from Battle Mage
It's true. You're a battle mage.
or Warcaster, whatever it is.
However, I am not.
Indeed.
So it's a huge step for me.
Okay, minus 1,500 from Ethan.
Cool.
That's
God damn,
generational
dude,
wealth
that-
that you're pissing down the drain.
How much do they weigh?
They weigh 1 pound. You better hope that the fucking Horatii make you a fortune, Ethan, because you just pissed away like $10 million.
Okay, listen.
Not quite. Not quite. Oh wait, yes. Never mind. Yep, that
If
much.
we kill a dragon, we become
If-
actual living
If
legends.
you kill the dragon, what if one of the other 60 fucking judges or inquisitors does it?
We can get rid of those
Oh, well,
accidents in the
That's
field,
crazy.
You know?
All right. Well, I have
There we go.
paid for the most I'm going to pay for any of you, except for Grania, for the rest of my life. So
What about for the party itself that I
Renea
think would be
gets more,
handy
she's
for
precious.
us to have access to as a group?
you are welcome to pitch your case.
So I don't know if we need it right now for this mission, but Pass Without Trace is really good. It would help us be stealthy, and if the dragon is nearby, we wouldn't get caught. Hopefully, more likely to not get caught.
That's what, like $100?
Yeah,
Or
well,
sorry,
It was
yeah, 100
before.
gold.
It was a
100
fixed
gold.
price at 100 gold. I don't know if it still is.
it is, yeah. The
Again-
price fixing is not up to the Department of Magic. They have to do it at Imperial Edict.
Can other people pitch in for this stuff, mayhaps?
I have 21 gold on my sheet left.
Understandable.
Jesus, what happened to you?
I'm definitely pitching
don't
along
know,
the
man.
whole.
So poor.
Denzel needs to have a bank account or no?
I got
I
robbed.
don't think so. I mean, I could probably, out of character, I could probably ask Tolius for some help, but I'm not doing that right now. But yeah, I Harkin just replied in the chat of the spells that I listed that I thought would be helpful. I don't know if Enlarge Reduce is useful anymore because you're not going to use that thing.
Yeah,
Speak
no,
with
fuck
Dead
no.
might be useful because we are going to come across presumably dead people, and I don't think any of us has access to that spell.
Wait, all of these scrolls? Wait, no, many of these scrolls, I can learn the spells if we get them, and then we have them for more than one use. Though I'd have to ready them, so that's annoying.
I guess the only ones I think would be very useful for our upcoming trip would be Pass Without Trace and Speak with Dead.
I have Speak with
Rari's
Dead.
telepathic bond.
You do? Okay,
Scroll.
never mind. How does Speak with Dead work with Grania? Because she can't speak.
She just should not cast that spell.
Okay.
They're not going to understand fucking sign language if they don't speak.
My
their mind.
understanding was it wasn't, because I think we went over this whenever I asked about taking the spell, is that it just makes it to where the other party can speak with them.
No, they can't. He said if you did it,
Oh.
though, like what would it do for
Oh.
you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, speak with dead corpses can speak to anyone that's nearby.
Okay,
It's not
okay.
just the
Bring
person
it
that
down.
casts the spell.
Never
Yeah,
mind.
yeah.
I thought we just didn't have access at all to
No,
this
no, no,
spell.
no, no.
Okay, we can
no,
take
no.
that off
You can
the
do it.
list.
It's just
Grania
Grania
can't do
can't.
that.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, what type of telepathic bond did you say?
Rari's telepathic bond, probably called
How is that
something
different
else,
to
yeah.
normal telepathic bond?
It is the normal telepathic bond.
Why is it called Rari's then?
That's the default name in 5e.
Bro, who the fuck is Rari?
Some bozo who works at Wizard of the Coast, probably.
Let me go see if this. Let me go see if this spell has a.
Fifth level
Mythosia doesn't have
ritual.
this spell.
Block my Rari.
What?
16 shots and a 30.
Mythosia simply. This spell simply does not exist in Mythosia.
Phantom Steed.
That certainly does exist, and it's a second level ritual, I believe.
Third level illusion.
Third level ritual. Oof. Oof. Owie. Owie.
How
It's
much?
expensive. Let me go find it. That would be 800 gold. Wait, is it ritual?
Jesus. Yeah.
Oh, it is ritual. Okay, it's 150 then.
Thank God. Then Find Familiar. That's probably real cheap. First level
Level
ritual.
1 ritual.
Yeah. Level 1 ritual. I didn't even know. That's so cheap. That's like
You
10.
do need some like actual materials to cast it though, like
You
the
do indeed.
brazier and all that.
Do indeed.
Yeah, that's not that expensive.
Yeah, find familiar would be 10 gold.
Okay, yeah, I'll buy those.
Okay, sure. I don't know
So
what those
that's
are, but subtract the
160.
gold accordingly.
Find familiar, phantom steed,
Sure.
and I'm gonna learn those.
Okay.
I have the ink for it.
Yeah, do you have the time though? A whole 4 hours?
I think I might be able to squeeze it in.
Okay. All right, well, have we finished our shopping arc?
No.
Oh my god. It's been 2
We were about
hours.
to. Okay, pass without trace. How many scrolls of that do we need?
Gulp.
Corvus,
Because like we probably want to use it more than once, right?
I would
Maybe.
And I don't think that's a spell that any of us like can
Triple
learn.
snakes
Word
safe.
Ranger.
I'm gonna set the number at 4.
I'm okay with that. I was thinking 2, but 4 would be safe.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like we
Well,
will never use it. If we don't use it this time, we'll use it another time for sure.
It's been paid for.
Yippee.
what does a ring of spell storing even do? Like, why?
It doesn't
why
matter.
do
You guys can't afford it anymore.
You
We could steal it.
choose a spell you have. You choose a spell you have, and then that ring holds the spell. I think you don't need to expend it. I'm not sure. You might need to expend it, but basically the ring holds the spell, so you can cast it again.
It
And
basically
holds
is
it
a spell
indefinitely
slot
until
battery.
It's cast. Yeah, except that you can give it to people who can't normally cast those.
Yeah, that's why it's
spells.
battery.
Who cast them for you.
It's just like how in real life, if you put a battery on your tongue, it zaps you.
Like I could give Ethan, I could give Maximus disintegrate to it. Disintegrate some loser.
That's awesome, dude. Well, no, because
It
it's
is.
limited to 5 spell levels, but yeah.
Oh, is it?
Oh,
Okay.
so you could
Yep.
give.
I could give him
Maximus,
Immolate to
You could
Immolate
give him
some.
Immolate, yeah.
You could give him counterspell as well.
You could. You
Yeah.
certainly
Even
could.
legend lore.
Yeah.
I
Shame we
think
can't
it might
afford
be
that
limited
anymore.
to.
Well, we're out of money, so I hope that you've bought everything you want. Not even that it's really particularly limited. I mean, I guess magical items are, but the scrolls aren't. So, what now, fellas?
Smell
You ride.
Where do we ride?
The library.
The wagon. The library. Well, those were 2 conflicting answers.
We don't have sightings just yet, right?
Nope.
Okay,
That's why we go to the
first.
library.
Yeah, I guess I'm okay.
I think we can. I think we should
actually use the
strategize
feat
out
right
of game.
here.
Oh yeah.
Research a background feat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
It will be relevant here, though. I will say, I think out of game we should talk about what information we even want to acquire, rather than blindly rolling checks to hope we find some crazy awesome information in an archive that dozens of other judges are also poring over. What do we want to know?
Encyclopedia of Dragons, please.
You don't know. That is a genuine. You guys could go. You could look for that, Dota. You could go look to see if there's like a monstrous manual from the West talking about dragons of blue and red types. That could be a genuinely useful piece of information if you care about it.
What about maybe even if we would like, since nobody's seen a bronze, would we look into like
I don't know.
fiction,
Maybe.
like ultra ancient
wait.
stuff that's been classified as
You
fiction?
could indeed look for a cultural specialist on ancient Mythosica. Yeah.
Is this thing confirmed to not be an illusion?
No, it has not been confirmed to not be an illusion.
Okay.
Legend lore.
What about it?
I have that spell.
Do you have that? Yeah, you have that spell.
I do.
That
It
might
is an
be
expensive
perfectly
spell to
relevant
cast.
here. Yes, and it
Do
might be
we?
perfectly.
Okay. I need
relevant here.
250 gold of incense.
And 200 gold of ivory strips.
I have those.
Okay.
Well.
But I do need the incense because that gets consumed. But the strips stay.
Also, I'm just going to tell you this right now. If you say the words "Beast of Atlia," that will not work. Because the way legend lore works is you say a name, a person, place, or object, and then it will give you a brief summary of significant lore about it, both publicly known and not publicly known. But the thing needs to be significant, and in this case, the name needs to mean something. The Beast of Atlia is a name that was invented less than a month ago to describe a creature that you have no other words for. So
Yeah,
it would give you the major information about the beast, which...
the neat part about legend lore is that the more you know about something, the more of like it gives you basically the next layer of the onion, the next level of the iceberg. So once we do a bunch of research and we hopefully get a good amount of info, we cast legend lore to give even more info.
That is completely true. Yeah, that is how the spell works.
Question: all spells that have a value cost for their components, like some sort of amount of component worth amount of GP, there's nothing that writes that off. It has to be used no matter what.
Yes.
Hey, is that like a 1 day no satisfaction payback guarantee or something?
Nope.
I just realized I'm a walk.
Yeah, Granny.
You have Warcaster? That is very funny. That is very funny. Dude, that
surely
is...
Corvus would have known and never done made that mistake, right?
I'm sorry.
Well, you can just sell it back to the Department of Magic. It's fine.
For its same
surely
price?
I wouldn't have made that
Wait,
mistake.
does Premius have Warcaster? Maybe he has con spells that would be helpful to...
True, actually. That's a good point.
I mean, I already have Warcaster also.
God damn it.
He has fucking Warcaster.
I can't believe I thought I didn't have it.
I also have Warcaster.
Oh my god.
It's so over for me.
Yeah, so I'm going to demand this.
The $1.5 million mistake.
Corvus, you have to explain to this in character to Maximus what you just did.
Maybe you just don't explain it then, Corvus.
Okay, out of character,
You lie to him.
Out of character, Corvus would never make this mistake.
I disagree.
Okay? He's not stupid.
No, I don't think he's stupid. I just think he was distracted.
By what?
By the rush of it all, the fact that,
magic.
oh god, the items are running out. Oh
The
god,
FOMO.
they just all got a bunch of items. I don't have any items. Oh, this says it's for wizards. Oh, look at that effect. Oh, that sounds great. Like, help me maintain concentration on my spells. And then it's after he walks out and he realizes, wait a minute. I've been training my entire life to maintain concentration on spells. How the fuck is this gonna help me?
Okay, so I just... Maximus.
Yeah.
So, I didn't realize that these braces... it slipped my mind. I was just in the rush and everything, you know? With my studies and everything. And,
Alright.
I realized they wouldn't do anything for me. I already possess the capability that is equivalent to them. They wouldn't enhance my capabilities any further.
So, let me get this straight. You looked at what they did, and your first thought wasn't, I can already do that?
No, it completely slipped my mind. I can't believe this happened. This is actually very embarrassing. This might be the most embarrassing moment of my life.
Do you forget you can breathe sometimes, or is this a sort of a one-off?
You know when you
know, I just spent $1.5 million pence on that.
You know when you're like in the middle of like a battle and everything around you becomes a blur and you're just focusing on that moment?
Yeah, because I'm about to die.
Driving a Black Friday sale like a battle?
You were reading words and worried you weren't gonna get magical items.
I was pretty angry about the fact that they wanted us to have like people vouch for us about the whole cape scenario. You don't think they'll let us return these, do you?
Well, here's what
Maybe some other judges would rather need them, you know?
I'm gonna take those. I'm gonna sell them back to the Department of Magic. And then, because they're the Department of Magic, they're not going to give me the price they sold them for. You can owe me the rest.
Yes, that's only fair.
Yeah.
That would only be fair.
So, well, also, don't get too disheartened about it. There are two outcomes for what's about to happen. Either we survive and we killed the dragon and money problems go away for a while, or we die and then money problems go away permanently. So,
well,
you know,
the other third, we do some research, somebody else killed the dragon, and money problems are still very much a thing.
your money problems are still very much a thing.
Yeah, I get it. You're loaded because you sold that one scroll, which, by the way, I paid to be able to copy from.
Huh?
You know that teleport scrolls you sold?
Yes,
Power of magic. Yeah, I actually. The only reason I know teleport is because they made that scroll into one of those they have in their repository. It was the first one like that they had, and they made it into a permanent scroll that wizards can scribe from. It's a huge boost for the Power of Magic. I paid to be able to copy that spell.
So they paid me, and then you had to pay them to look at the thing they paid me for.
Yeah, well, they did some extra work on it to make it permanent. Normally, scrolls are gone after one scribing like that, but there's ways to make it last. I'm sure they spent a huge amount of money on that as well, but it'll make the money back eventually.
Yeah, they made it back today, off of me. With the money they paid me for the scroll.
I love the Department of Magic.
A good part of it, they probably did, yeah.
Well, Corvus and
I'm
Maximus.
I'm gonna go see what I can get for this, and I'll let you know how much you owe me.
Yeah.
All
Maximus.
right.
Fake my death and write my will.
You go walk inside, Maximus.
Keep your head up, bud. And I'll pat him on the back.
Yeah. Corvus, do you want to join him while he goes and determines the damage, or do you let him go and?
No, I'm going to the Department of Faith and looking at potions.
Okay.
Right.
Maximus,
Straight up healing potions.
you go inside, and you walk over to the clerk, and you ask to meet with, the people you were just in, and she knows you obviously, so 'cause she was just there, and so she sends you back in, and the clerk there looks up and says, "Oh, is there something else you wanted to buy?"
No. How do I explain this? One of my compatriots requested I purchase this for him. Whatever it does. Evidently, he could already do whatever it does to him.
The clerk smiled.
Yeah, yeah. I'd find it hilarious if I didn't drop 1.5 million on it.
That is unfortunate.
Yes, immensely so. I'd like to sell it back to y'all, and then he's gonna owe me the rest.
Would you like an itemized receipt?
Yes,
All
I
right.
would.
He takes the item from you and walks over to the shelf where it was about 20 minutes earlier and puts it back. He then goes behind the counter and spends the next 15 minutes or so. Like this, it takes a while because he's recovering your bullion, he's doing the math, and eventually he places less than you gave him. It's hard to tell just looking at it immediately. You know it's less, but then he gives you the itemized receipt. Minus 30% immediately, because they're going to have to go to the money changers with, the money that you gave them. And so it's called the money changer surcharge. It's, they're including that on top. Then it's
that's not even their fucking.
Then there's the Department of Magic surcharge, which is 15%. So it's minus 45% on what you paid them.
Ooh.
So you are receiving 825 gold back.
That is tough for you, Corvus.
You can blame the Money Changers Guild for about 30% of that, though.
Yeah, but
because they just broke change with you, technically, if you think about it. And so because they broke change, they legally have to charge you the Money Changers tax.
Right, I can blame the money changers in one hand and shit in the other, and see which one fills up first. All right.
I think the blame for the Money Changers Guild, to be honest.
But this doesn't make any sense. He gave it to them in raw gold, and they're returning in raw gold. There's no exchange happening.
You think that, but they're giving him less than they gave him originally. Do you know what another word for that is?
No, but okay, if I give you 1,000
it's not just about the form of gold. It can sometimes also be about the amount. It's why refunds in general in the Empire are almost explicitly forbidden because most people just don't want to deal with the fact that you have to go through the Money Changers Guild.
That's absurdly stupid.
Well,
Well,
hey,
you're telling me
monopolies
I
are
have
one
to-
hell of a thing.
You're telling me if I have to give somebody $100,
Yeah.
and then he returns me $50 the next day.
No. See, that's different because you're not doing a commercial transaction. That's like trading between friends, which there is provisions for that in the Empire. But if you're doing a commercial transaction, then yeah.
All right. How much did you say I got? 825.
25. Yeah.
So
675 is what I owe you.
Yeah, not to worry. Me and you will be making a visit to the barrister as well.
Sure. I nearly have that much. Also, I'm legally a barrister, so.
True. Make your own contract.
I'm gonna
of
have
course,
to
that would be
say
unprofessional.
that's a sort of a conflict of interest
No,
there.
of course. I'm not saying I should be scribing it. I know what you're doing.
All right.
Excellent.
You guys.
So
yeah.
Before we get into anything else, real quick, as like an actual out of character logistic question, is this
Yeah.
spell like reasonable for the price to even consider, or should I just pick a different spell?
If you bring Force Cage for that amount of cost, the only reason to have it would be to trap like a dragon. Like you're not using this in anything except for like a final boss.
It won't fit. That's the problem.
Well, then I don't see a reason to take it.
If it's something doesn't
Unless
fit,
we
all it does
reduce
is
it
push out
first.
of the space.
Unless you could reduce it, but that's starting to make your
Question.
Yeah.
If I polymorph, cage it, and then unpolymorphs,
Yeah.
what happens to the cage?
It would squeeze and hurt, but the cage would not break. It would simply hurt the creature inside
Well, the
because it is
issue
a
is
magical cage.
Doesn't that just like kill it?
It's not
Because if it's so much bigger than the
It
cage.
potentially could, yeah. I mean, it'd deal damage.
Interesting.
It's the same as enlarging a creature that's wearing armor. Like, it
Force
doesn't
cage
kill
is
the
not
person.
concentration, just duration, right?
Yeah, 1 hour duration, no concentrate. I mean, honestly, the person you have to convince is Maximus to give you that amount of money. So
Wait, enlarging a guy in armor hurts them?
no, it
I thought
doesn't
we
hurt
used
them.
to
It does
enlarge-
not hurt them.
Oh,
That's the
okay.
point, is what I was saying.
Okay.
What was I gonna say? Wouldn't we still have? I assume this thing has like legendary resistances.
Probably.
Yeah.
At least. So we'd have to get through a couple before we could even probably like hit it with it.
Correct, but the force cage isn't a save. So now teleporting out of the cage is a save, but just once, like to cast the cage, there's no save. So if you could burn through its other saves and like then polymorph it, then yeah.
Yeah, that was my problem. Is like getting.
I mean, yeah, it's a limited spell for sure, but
How much money do you have, Maximus?
9.3 thousand gold.
How does this like even get brought up? Like in character, how do you know what the spell is like needed and bring that up?
those are simply the requirements to cast the spell. There are material components associated with it. So you, as a warlock, would just have an intuitive sense that to do this, I will need this.
So I just go up to Maximus and be, I need 1,500 gold.
Basically, yeah, I need you to go buy me ruby dust.
$1.5
$1.5 million worth of ruby dust.
And some fire moss while you're at it.
And some fire moss. Dude, that'd be so fucking
How much
sick.
is that? How much, like,
It's a great question.
ruby dust is that?
It's a lot, I would imagine. Ruby priced by weight.
Is there even that much available to purchase?
Yes, there certainly is. Ruby. Oh my god, Jesus! Rubies can sell for $100,000 a carat, and a carat is 0.2 grams. This is not very much. This is like 3 grams of ruby dust.
All right, Grania is going to walk up to Maximus and tug on his cloak.
Yeah, Maximus and Corvus are like walking to a barrister's office, and you catch up with him and pull on Maximus's cloak.
Yes, Grania.
Just remind me, Maximus is still like elementary sign language, correct?
I'm 14 out of 40 now.
That's elementary.
Ooh.
Yeah.
There you go,
I'm-
elementary.
I'm also there, so I could just like say what grade.
You're
it's in.
coming. You're coming to the barristers with us.
Well, I mean, like I'm probably just like following the group around. I'm not just
Oh,
like
there you
hanging
go.
out by myself.
Fair enough.
No,
Okay.
no.
Okay. Grania's gonna sign. I found something I need that will help
just,
us with
like-
the dragon.
I'm going to like full like translate it. So this
Okay,
is
okay.
just going to be a conversation between Grania and
Maximus.
Maximus.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah,
good.
I
You
found
found,
something I need help
you
with the dragon.
you found an item? Oh. We can go and buy it. Oh. How much?
I guess she doesn't really have a great. She's not gonna like. Yeah, she should just ask. She doesn't really have a great concept.
Yeah, I guess
of money.
she would just know the amount of ruby dust she needs. She wouldn't know the monetary value.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, okay.
1,500
So I guess-
gold pieces worth of ruby dust. However you would even describe that.
Yeah, I think you would
Just
just
like
say,
the-
"Oh, I
the
need like 3
weight.
grams of ruby dust," and then Maximus would be like, "I don't know how the fuck much. I don't know how much ruby dust costs. Like that's just not."
3
Yeah.
grams
Lots
of
of
ruby
ruby
dust? Is this for like a spell of some kind?
She'll nod.
3 grams doesn't seem like that much. I mean, that's what,
Clueless.
like a
Clueless.
pinch?
Yeah.
Yeah. Once I'm done here with my indentured servant, we can
This. All right.
We
Well,
can,
we can do
uh,
a quick montage.
we can go do that. We can go find somewhere to buy that.
Maximus and Corvus go and sign a contract before a witness. Boom. He is now technically an indentured. I mean, you're not wrong. He is technically. Yeah,
No,
he's indentured
no,
to you. Yeah, I mean, he
that-
is
that
indentured
is
to you.
not-
He's just not a servant.
That is not built into the. Yeah, that
Well,
is
he
not
is
built into
indentured.
the contract.
And debt does pass down
what's-
to your children in the Empire.
Can I
What's the
just
number?
pay it off some other way?
He owes you 625, I think. Just
75.
pay it off some other way. Jesus Christ.
675.
675 is how much he owes you.
I paid what, 1,500 for that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you got 825 back.
The maths all check out.
The math checks out.
Yeah.
Alright,
And then
I need a debt ledger now. This isn't
Jesus
something I thought
Christ.
Maximus would need.
And after you guys sign that contract, as you're contemplating this situation, Maximus, you walk to a jeweler's shop. You go inside, you walk up to the counter, you say, "Hello, good sir. Might I have 3 grams?" And he looks at you and he says,
3 grams of ruby dust.
"Are you certain?"
No.
I'll look down at Grania. Yeah, 3 grams, right?
Nod.
Yeah,
Um,
3 grams.
That is a rather considerable purchase. Are you sure you have the financing required?
It is? How much is it?
1,500 Imperial Dragons.
For 3 grams?
Yes.
I'll look down at Grania. It can really help, can it?
She'll have a more like serious look, like stern look on her face, and nod.
She says it can help. It can help. Yeah,
Is
this
spell grade ruby dust you need?
I would imagine
out of
so.
character don't know, but I assume so.
I'll look down at Grania. You said it was for a spell, right?
She'll nod.
Yeah, it's for a spell.
He walks behind the counter, comes back with a thimble full of ruby dust, and then, waits for his payment.
This is. I'm just. 1,500.
Yep, that's the market price.
All right. How? I'm going to inconvenience his day as much as I possibly can. Let's see here.
How are we paying him?
Let me do this math real quick. No, that's too
He's
much.
gonna charge you the money changes fee, by the way, so.
Times,
No. They only charge you that for refunds. It's just kind of a part of the cost of doing business otherwise. From a certain perspective, one could say that everything in the Empire costs 30% more because of the existence of a single organization, but...
Fuck, we're gonna have to like, kill all of
Let's see,
those.
Alex. 1 gold bullion bar is 480 gold, right?
Sure, whatever I put on your sheet is correct.
See 4 of those.
I recorded the gold value. I did not record the
Okay, you
per
should...
bar value.
How would you do that? Well, just divide the gold value by the number of bars. Bada bing, bada boom. Wait, how much do the bars weigh?
I don't fucking know. I didn't record that either.
Okay, what is the gold amount you're paying him? Just pay him money. It doesn't matter. If you have it basically
yeah,
just recorded like normal money, just pay him.
Yeah, alright. I pay the man.
Base.
He gets
okay.
like 3 gold bars and a fucking smattering of gold.
Great. He takes it. It's all gold at the end of the day.
Yeah, fair enough.
Alrighty. So, all this is purchased. The things have been bought. The scrolls, the items, the contracts, the debt. So, How would we like to start researching?
Can I? What department would I talk to ask the logistics of getting teleported to the western
Magic.
continent?
Magic, but I will just tell you now they don't have that. They have no spell circles in the west.
Hmm. I guess I would talk to Kato about like finding resources in the west, or like the logistics of how much time we have to like make that feasible.
Kato cannot meet with you, but we are talking about months. Like it would take months. Like Voyage of the Defiance West was basically the journey that you would need to do.
Oh.
And you'd also have to come back again. So.
Right. So like probably a year later I'd show up.
Yeah, it'd be infeasible. What are you looking for in the west?
Well, I assume they have more accurate descriptions of dragons, and I
that
guess
would
they're
be
powerful.
generally true. But luckily, you can contact people from the west without going there.
Really? Who do we know in the west that's willing to collect?
You personally know one, but the Department of
Alright,
Magic has
I'm
people
sure
that they
about
can
dragons.
contact with sending.
Yeah, I'd like to start that.
Well, you're gonna get a 25-word response, so
All right. Oh right, I have to say something.
yeah, I'm gonna let you cook on that for a bit. What would the rest of you guys like to do to research?
Well, I pause my feet a little, researcher feet.
And?
Does that give me anything other than go to the library?
No, it does, but what are you looking for?
Information on... I assume that in traditional scholarly stuff we're already tapped pretty much. So I'm looking for anything that, like fairy tale, no, not fairy tales, but like common folk tales. I'm trying to find a fuck ton of like smaller like mentions and folk tales and distill them to see how much like, because if they all say one thing and all that one thing is said repeatedly over and over and over, then there's probably a grain of truth to it. I'm trying to do that.
Roll an intelligence check.
Just rolled.
Yep.
No history, no arcana.
Nope. It's for your scholarly feat. I think
Just
the
about
DC on
10.
that is a 10, yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, there is a professor who lives in the city of Ravinium. He specifically specializes in what at this time would be called history, but is in reality archaeology. He specifically researches the cultures of Mithdosica's past, and he has a whole collection, like a academic collection of folklore, ruins he's investigated, reconstructed pantheons, etc., etc. Those documents don't exist here in Mythos. They exist at the Symposium in Ravinium, which is where he teaches.
Okay, Ravinium.
Okay. Do you want to bring anyone along with you? Ravinium would be a 2-day ride.
Okay, what about on Phantom? Phantom Steed's not fast, I think.
Nope, it's not. And the limitation to like distance travel is human beings, not really horses.
Nope, Phantom Speeds are 100 feet.
That is a little bit faster.
Can travel 13 miles in an hour.
That is... Actually, I don't even know if that is faster. 60 divided by 8. Oh, it is faster. 13 divided by times 10. Oh, you could get there in 1 day. Wow.
Okay, so I guess I'll make a ride like that and ask the people if anybody needs to tag along.
Well, they can't tag along because you're on a Phantom Steed. Only one of them would be able to fit.
Well,
some reason I assumed that I could cast multiple, but no.
No, also, wait, don't you have to resummon this every hour?
Yeah, but it's a 1-minute ritual.
Fair enough.
Well, 1 minute plus ritual. So it's 11 minutes of casting, an hour of riding, so on and so forth. And if you allow me to cast on horseback, then it's basically...
Well, you can't cast on horseback.
Can I be drawn in a wagon and cast inside that?
Yeah. But it has to be a place that you can see, so...
Yeah. Like a...
Yeah, but I mean, the horse, you're not going to be gaining any speed advantage anymore. You're just going to be it's just going to be a horse pulling a wagon, so...
Well, but it's a way faster horse pulling a wagon, right?
Sure, but it's still a wagon, which slows you down immensely. You'd be better off just riding a normal back course to Rivenia.
Well, in that case, I'm just gonna do it this way.
Okay, you can bring one other person along if you want.
What are you researching?
Okay.
Is it like fiction story, folktales?
Stuff like that, yeah.
I think I would want to go because I don't want to look up dragons. I want to look up folk stories on like stuff that happens after a group dream.
Cool.
Which I think probably wouldn't have a historic record, but might have folktale type records.
Yeah. Well, Maximus and Grania, what are your contributions to research?
Besides asking the fluttering one, I think I just want to research more general, like similar monsters, whether that just be red and blue dragons or maybe bronze-related creatures, or if none of that pans out, then possibly illusions that would be able to do something similar to this.
I thought of something. Yeah. This stuff that it breathes is clearly not normal fire at the very least. So I'll try and find information on that, like creatures that can breathe hot stuff that isn't fire.
Sure.
Maybe, old civilizations that might have developed something like this.
Okay. Well then, we'll start with Primius. What exactly was it you were doing again?
I was going to send a sending to someone in Western Valorous.
All right. What would you like to send them?
I believe it was something along the lines of, where do dragons originate from? More specifically, bronze dragons. Feel free to answer over multiple sendings. Need answer to be thorough.
Okay. Let me make sure that is 25 words or less.
I believe it was 21.
It was indeed. All right, your reply will come from a certain Archmagus Valentine of Cavaranth.
Hey, I talked to him in Death Game.
Yep, and it probably limits mana, I would imagine, if you went on the Cavaranth expedition. His response will come in the form of, dragons are from the elemental plane. Elemental plane. There are no bronze dragons. That is the answer. It is 11 words.
Yeah, about that, buddy.
Yeah, they're from the elemental planes, and there are no bronze dragons.
You're gonna want to sit down for this.
Well, I can't respond, so I
No,
have to say
but
that
you can, if you'd like. So, because you guys are on this quest, and because this is directly related to the beast, and you're doing research, this first sending was free. If you'd like, you could start paying for sending scrolls, but that's going to get hefty.
Pretty expensive, yeah. Is that?
I have sending.
Is that free sending like once a day, or is that like?
Yeah, if you want to do it once a day, there are wizards in Mythos who can accommodate you.
Yeah.
I'll be honest though, doing a correspondence daily to try to learn what they know about bronze dragons when one of the most learned men of the continent says they don't exist seems unlikely to bear fruit.
True. So.
You could aid Grania. She's going to be researching just plain old red and blue dragons and what you have in the archives of Mythos.
Yeah, I kind of want to, I guess from that I want to research what dragons come from what planes, considering he said they all originate from an elemental plane.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, since we have 4 different research questions we're pursuing, everyone pick a number between 1 and 4.
3.
3. What was that, Yogi?
It was a video game.
Can we pick the same number?
No.
Oh.
Because I'm rolling a dice
1.
to randomize it. Okay. 1. And then Dota, Yogi and Hecko, one of you pick a number between 1 and 4. That's not... Okay, 2. Great. And then Granny is 3. Okay. Now you roll the dice. Wait.
Ooh, big.
Wait, Blake, you picked 3, right?
Timmins was
Yeah.
3.
Grania was 4.
I
Okay.
picked 2.
All right, it's Grania then. It's Grania.
Oh, you
It's
picked
Grania.
2?
It's fine.
And
It all
that's-
worked out. The point is, it's Grania.
Whatever.
I don't know.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Grania, you decide to read up on red and blue dragons. I'm gonna yap just a tiny bit, and then I will let you ask follow-up questions. Red and blue dragons have existed as long as recorded history in the West. It is known that for a long time there was only 2 dragons, one red and one blue. The exact date of their coupling is unknown, but at some point, the eggs of Alicast were fertilized and new dragons started popping out. However, eggs can remain fertile for literally thousands of years, so the red and blue dragons of the West vary in age between thousands of years old and, just a couple years old. Like, they're still hatchlings being born today. They are hyper intelligent, very fucking violent, typically not spellcasters, and they cling to their parents. So while there are technically red and blue dragons in the West, they are rarely found away from their parents. Like, blue dragons almost exclusively inhabit somewhere called the Pitmaker Holds. They almost never leave them because that is where their mother Alicast is located. Or red dragons almost exclusively lived in the Vorn Mountains and now live in the Great Desert because that is where Baradad, their father, is. Any follow-up questions?
No.
Okay. Well, Blake, pick a number between 1 and 3.
2.
2. Ethan, 1 and 3. Eben. All right, well,
Okay.
it's a 3. That's going to be Yogi and Heko. All right, the 2 of you on Phantom Steedback ride southward to Ravinium. You cross the Sedan River near a little bit afternoon, and on the 10th, you arrive in Ravinium. You have to get some sleep because you literally spend like the entire day traveling. But on the morning of the 11th, you can make your way over to the Symposium of Ravinium. You have, of course, been here, Zednius. In fact, we had like 4 sessions in this city. In this is where you met Severus for the first time, actually.
Oh. Yep.
Yeah. Badge. But you make your way to the Symposium, which is where you infiltrated a coffee house with Renesmee. Sag. And you find the professor that you were looking for. The 2 of you find yourself sitting in an office across from an older man. When I say older, I mean like 70s. He's got big white bushy eyebrows, big white bushy hair, big eyes, and his office is relatively clean. There are maps of Transatlia and Regia Nova, very detailed ones, which don't depict any modern cities or towns or villages or anything like that. And he offered you guys teas as you first sat down, and he'll return now putting 2 glasses in front of you regardless of what you said, and then he'll sit down behind his desk and say, well, what do I owe the honor of 2 Lord Judges in my office?
Beast of Adlia.
Yes?
It's been reported to have been a bronze dragon, which is something that from conventional research isn't really known about at all. So I was wondering that you who researches folk tales, stories, things like that, whether there was anything that would come close.
Yes. He stands up from his chair and walks over to one of his maps. You can tell he's starting to enter lecture mode. He says, the 4 great material cultures of Regina, of the 4, 2 of them had archetypal dragons, sort of divine godhead figures akin to the Helios of the southern cultural group. In this, the dragon was depicted as a source of knowledge and intelligence.
Do you have any sources for us?
What?
Any primary sources we could read ourselves?
No,
Primary.
there are no written records. There's only the ruins with their mosaics and their murals and their carvings and what's left in the communities, and that were once very different to the rest of us. The most intact ruin would be Batavia, but it's been off-limit for research since the Galentine War. You have been to Batavia before,
Is that where the undead giant was?
That was indeed where the undead giant was. That is where that's Hecko's actual first session, not even his character. His actual first session was him playing the Manway Farine Hunter and you guys going to Batavia.
Nice.
So he'll shrug and say, so no, there are no primary records in that sense. But anyways, the dragon is a symbol of stewardship and knowledge. It's frequently depicted as giving knowledge on...
What about its breath, its weapons? How does it fight?
Magic.
Okay, well, does it? Red dragons favor fire.
Well, the dragon in the archaic symbology does not have a color. It's depicted as half man, half dragon. It's in its human
What
form.
about anything? A bronze beast, a bronze wyvern, a bronze worm, anything that? Because we're looking for specifically bronze.
What about a bronze man? You just said a dragon is also man.
Yes.
What's bronze symbolize?
Bronze symbolized warfare. It was the weapon, the metallurgical tool. They did not have iron working in the period we are discussing. The problem is there's two different cultures which both had symbology of dragons, and they were rather different. So it's hard to make an overarching statement for both of them beyond its role as a sort of psychopomp.
Well, can you tell us about one of these, or both?
Of course. What we call the Batavian group was located in what is now, and I'll move to the map because he's about to list off a whole bunch of locations. What is now known as the Batavian group existed in Transatlia, Regia Nova, and in the Atlan Mountains. Within their culture, the dragon was a god, akin to Hylius, potentially related to Aurelian Soul. I dare not say precursor because we all know Aurelian Soul was eternal. Anyways, the point is that in their culture, the dragon was a herald of time, a herald of knowledge, the bearer of fire, in both the mythological sense and the physical sense, and he guided them through into the future. But he had some great rival, which in the sources is only depicted as darkness. And then in the northwest, in the place that Phrygia and Mathasia, the places that are now Proto-Mythosian, these places also had their own dragon figure. This dragon figure was terrible and powerful and magnanimous and magical and simply disappeared off the map. The material culture simply has it one year, and then the next year the monuments are defaced, and all that was there was then gone. The Batavian dragon persisted a while longer, but eventually faded into obscurity. Kind of looks at you, too.
Corvus?
You see, I feel like we're not really making any progress here. You see, since what we're hunting is essentially a beast of myth. I was wondering if there was a way to find some information that is less trustworthy. But if I had enough of it, I could distill some factoids that keep coming up. You know,
Well,
something that might actually help me fight a bronze dragon, no matter how inexistent it is. There is one. It's the Beast of Atlia.
Of course. Well, the Batavian and the Proto-Mythosians both agree that they were powerful spellcasters. Perhaps that's a useful factoid. Also, while no direct myths from the olden days survive because of Mythosianization processes throughout the post-shattering period, there is some folk wisdom in the eastern foothills of the Elgin Mountains near Parla. They believe that when you die, before you go into the Tranquiline Halls, a man with bronze skin shepherds you there. He had a long white beard, a sort of wizardish type character.
What was he called?
Kofash.
Is
It's
that
a
a similar
distinctly
name to any of the necromancer names we've seen?
not particularly.
Okay.
It's a distinctly un-Mithdosian name, certainly. Kovash sounds almost Alceranian, but not really. They don't like the ko syllable. I've tried to trace it down to any sort of known name origin, but it's unfamiliar. I also wrote a paper on a foothills community to the west of the mountains, which had a curse where when something bad happened, they would say Lemedon, but it's a nonsense phrase. It means nothing, and if you ask the people, they don't know what it means. It's become a curse, but its linguistic origins are completely opaque and unrelated to surrounding phrases. Just quirks of the foothills communities.
How did people generally come with their religions back then? Was it through dreams, through spirit seeking, or how?
It's hard to know these things directly, as, again, we only have Torah representations, not written ones. But in Batavia in particular, it seemed as if they saw their gods walk amongst them. At least that's all their imagery depicts it. They depict a winged man descending from the stars, well, specifically the sun in the case of Hylias, or the moon in the case of Lena, descending to the tops of their towers, conversing with their priest kings, and then giving their edict onto the population, who then carry it on to the people. Now, this could be a metaphorical representation, in which case dreams or something other would be true, but the consistency of this imagery almost makes it seem as if it was a truly physical interaction.
Have the Batavians ever had a have they ever had any records of having group dreams or rituals?
Rituals, yes.
Shared dreams.
There are a number of mosaics which picture them in group prostration before idols. I must admit, though, dreams are not a particularly major component of any of their symbology. It's all rather literal.
Okay.
Robert shakes his head. It's getting us nowhere. I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you. It's just, I know that was a far cry from expecting proper information. This was a long shot, but nonetheless, I find
think
myself
you should consider the
disappointed.
magic thing. It is a completely consistent depiction of whichever dragon depiction you pick, and
Yes,
I think it's worth noting.
Thank you, but I was already aware of that part.
Well, it makes them distinct. Anyways, in the West, they
What
depict
about
their dragons.
any creatures specifically that have a breath hotter than fire? Something else than fire.
There's the winged bull, the Taurus. There's the flying serpents. There's
flying serpents. What about those?
Skinny snakes which breathe fire. Sort of demonic in character. No specimen.
Well, but we want something that doesn't something that it's not fire. It's something more than fire, hotter than fire, more powerful than fire. Anything like that.
Well, the chief sun god, Hylias, was believed to be able to smite things into nothing, cinders.
Okay. Lednius, you got anything to add here?
What color was the fire from our notes? Was it purple?
White.
White fire. Okay.
White.
If it even is fire. It's just...
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm wondering, is like, is there any white substance that's known to be hotter than fire?
I think the professor will shrug and say...
It's out of his
Perhaps
There
you
we
should
go.
ask an alchemist.
What
Right.
about lightning? Is
Lightning
lightning
has a...
hotter than fire?
I don't... Again, that's a question for an alchemist, but lightning is a very potent archetypal symbol in both Batavian, Sidalian, Proto-Mythosian, and even Pantari culture. All 4 of the peoples of the Atlian Mountains knew the power of lightning.
No? Maybe lightning is not the worst idea. But I'm running out of ideas. Zenius,
Yes.
please tell me you got something out of this that I didn't.
I mean, we got some leads. I don't know if we have time to investigate Batavia at all, but it seemed
Yeah, no, I
like
don't think
it's
so.
possible that this guy is related to their legend. If it's truly a winged man, I mean, there are a lot of stories of men turning to dragons, and if this is true, then it could be related, and maybe the names or the info we could find in those ruins would help us with the legend lore spell.
I suppose.
Also,
But that's
for
rather
him, they're
expensive
too dangerous,
research.
but for you guys, it's nothing. Like, what's going to
Walk
happen?
in
A
the
couple
park,
of
yeah.
zombies come after you?
That's just the time component.
Yeah, well, I'll let you
I
guys
don't know what
ponder
our time
that for...
component is, but yeah.
I'll let you ponder
Is there
that
a
for a
room
moment.
I could use in this for privately casting something?
Yeah, you can get a study room in the symposium.
I'd like to scry.
I'll pull up the scrying spell. What do you want to scry?
The Judge Wu's corpse we're supposed to retrieve at some point.
Yeah, Mother Plution. Do you have a focus?
I have a scrying focus
Okay.
in my inventory, and I know her.
You do know her.
Like, I've
Yeah.
talked to her.
Cool. The target technically needs to make a saving throw, but it is incapable of making saving throws, so this is just going to succeed.
Okay.
Let me pull up my little description.
10 minutes.
Between a saddle of 2 mountains is nestled a gorge. At the low point of this altitude, there is mountain green grasses growing in a U-shaped depression. The depression is dotted by a strange sight: stone ruins. Some appear to be broken pillars, others are slabs of clearly carved stone, discarded. A massive chalk shape that, to you, as a wizard, looks vaguely arcane, dominates a portion of the gorge, and a hulking shape of a rotting cyclops sits on the grasses beside the chalk shape. Then, this isn't even what you were scrying on, this is all just incidental. The thing you were actually looking for is the charred and crispy body of Mother Plution, which is curled up beside the arcane glyph. And I will actually just switch you to the battle map so you can see what I'm talking about. So this is what there is.
There's a... What is this?
What is what? I didn't see a ping.
This material.
Oh, that's
over
a
here or whatever?
pond. That's a pond.
Oh. I thought for a second it was like a mithril vein or something. Any symbolic anything in this place, and also, of course, I'm going to. I have 10 minutes. I'm going to make a precise drawing as well as I can see from this of this arcane circle.
Yeah, I think you realize as you begin to do this that something about scrying is not conveying the true depth of this object. Like, this object, this arcane glyph has some almost like anti-scrying ability. Like, you can see it, but you notice that parts of it are missing. Like, when you go to transcribe the glyph isn't logical. Like, it doesn't even follow any flow at all.
Is there a way for me to trick my mind into not focusing on it while still scribing it?
No, because you're looking at it through a scrying orb, and that seems to be the at least as far as you can tell. Just a
Okay.
arcane sensor
Right.
literally will not allow you to view it.
Then Mother Thulion?
Plution, yeah.
Thulion. Precisely what does she look like?
She is blackened to a crisp and curled up on herself like a candlestick.
Is there... She herself is black. What about the place she's lying on? Is it also all blackened to a crisp?
Yeah.
So what I'm looking for is, if we're going with a lightning hypothesis, if lightning strikes, if you know when it strikes like a tree, there's these tiny like marks that almost look like veins from at the edge.
It's not
going
lightning.
from it. It's not lightning.
No, it's a perfectly circular area where, and it's not fire either, because the grass didn't like set ablaze and then like expand the fire or whatever. It's a circular area around her body, completely charred black.
Have I ever seen anything like this?
No.
Okay. This Cyclops.
Yeah.
Focusing on him.
Yeah.
What's he wearing? What's he look like?
Yeah, so his body is rotted. He's been here for weeks. His carrion have clearly eaten parts of his body. His ribs kind of like are the thing that's relatively untouched at the moment, so they form this big like hook-shaped impression of his body. His bowels were the first things to get eaten by carrion. He wears this kind of mantle of fur over his shoulders. He was carrying lots of primitive gear, like a rock and some other stuff. And yeah. The cause of death is a blow to the head. His head is like crumpled inward.
Since monsters have been eradicated, Cyclopses aren't also like not really a thing,
Cyclopses were believed to have been extinct for about 100 years, but they were one of the last species to go extinct in the last monster species to go extinct in the Atlian Mountains. They're quite intelligent, so they were quite good at avoiding hunting parties and just like climbing up onto the glaciers and waiting for the hunting parties to leave. But they're believed to be exterminated 100 years ago.
And you are not here.
Bro's pondering his orb in a broom closet right now.
I am. I'm like,
I am.
so confused, bro. I'm just so confused.
Well, I think I'll let you think about that between sessions because we gotta wrap up soon. So I would like to cut back to Blake. You wanted to research the elemental planes. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I mean, there's no roll needed because you have access to the Imperial Archives. And yeah, so Granny got to do something. Yeah. So you get to look at the elemental planes. What do you want to know about the elemental planes?
The dragons that originate from each elemental plane.
The only source on this, I stress this very strongly. The only source on this is by an archmage from the West who basically sells books to like finance himself. His name is Vandai ibn Algar. He's from Al Sirah, and he publishes a series of these like very trashy novels that are meant to appeal to the general populace, but they do contain like a sliver of actual arcane knowledge in them. And he speaks from personal experience that black dragons are from a place that he refers to as the Swamp of Sorrows. Red dragons are from a place he calls the Plain of Ashes. And blue dragons are from a place he calls the Plain of Unending Lightning and Wind. He does not mention bronze dragons in his analysis, though he does acknowledge a third type of dragon, which is better than most things you've read. In the story, he recounts a personal experience with the black dragon, which attempted to blackmail him, but it seems a bit far-fetched.
All right. Maybe we could sending to Vandai.
He is, considering he's actually met 3 different types of dragon, he may be one of the world's foremost experts.
Holy shit.
He might also be real mad at you for just randomly sending to him.
Also very possible. Yeah. Also, I would say your character would know this. Vandai Ibn Algar is an archmage who destroyed an entire Mythosian fleet a couple of months ago, like 7 months ago.
Yeah.
So they're not exactly friends.
That's horrible.
Yep.
Well,
I think also in a non-salacious context, you'll find that generally the origins of dragons are attributed to the elves, not the elemental planes. Now, Valentine doesn't agree with that, but here in Mythosia, it is claimed that, because in the story of Pelennor Elfsbane, which is one of the most well-known stories about dragons, elves are riding them. So if elves are riding them, clearly the elves made them. That's the rationale. So I think that's where we'll... Oh, sorry, do you have a really quick follow-up question?
No. Are there any other... I think I could surmise that... I guess, I'm trying to figure out what planes he was talking about, because clearly he was talking about the plane of fire for red dragons, but I can't figure out the other two.
Well, there is no universal planes categorization system in Valeros. In Mythosia, it's typically just 4. Plane of fire, earth, air, water.
And there's no mention of more?
It's the Mythosian arcane understanding of these things, which is even stretching the limits of what you would know, but I'll give it to you since you have access to the library, is that there are transitions, but each plane is infinite, so to ever reach that transition would be impossible, because it's infinite. And in these boundary areas, there are mixed biomes, but they're not planes in their own right, just the mixtures between infinities. So
probably the elemental plane of air and earth? But I don't know, where would a swamp be in like an elemental plane?
Who knows?
There's
Either
some
way,
really spicy level 7 spells that would have let us travel to that kind of stuff, but I was like, I feel like that's just outside.
like
the
plane
realm
shift?
of what outside the realm of what we would ever
that's a
do.
classic.
So
That's a
I
classic.
didn't even want to touch that shit.
They're also incredibly dangerous. Basically, no one goes to the elemental planes and comes back alive, but you know, it happens occasionally. Well, I think that is where we will end it to respect everyone's time. We spent way longer shopping than I thought we would, but that's okay, because that means next week we get to do more research. Yippee, yippee! Think about some questions that you'd have. Now, I don't know if it'll literally be next week, but you know, such is scheduling. Yes, awesome. Well, whenever we have our next session, I'll see you guys then, and bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.